and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot, and this is my free tarot card reading channel here on YouTube. I also do like a lot of other stuff on here now. I recently released another podcast episode from my podcast called Spirit Talks, which featured my amazing talented brother, Mr. Alex slash, why was that so hard to say, slash Xander Digital. So if you're wanting to look at anything else that I do, I cover a lot of spiritual topics on that show. Be sure to click on my channel and have a look. Now, this is a doozy. This reading, I'm not gonna lie to you, I delayed it on purpose because I knew that it was going to take a lot of energy, and I also just knew that there was going to be a lot that we have to cover. So what I decided to do is make it into a series. Similar to our Who is Your Soulmate series, this is going to be our Who is Your Future Spouse series. And we've got a lot that we need to cover. So we're going to be covering a lot in today's reading as well. The groups are lengthy and there are extended readings as well. So today's video is the part 1 of Who is Your Future Spouse. We're going to be covering these main topics slash questions. I've literally got my journal here. I'm reading them out to you, but if you need to refresh on these, there's going to be like dot points in the description box below where you can like read along with me. But just to tell you what you can expect from today's video, we are going to be looking at, is your future spouse a new person or somebody that you already know? How will you recognize them? How do you meet? When will you meet? And what signs should you look out for around the time that you meet them? What are the blockages holding you back from each other? Slash, what are the challenges that your connection may face while you're together? What will your future spouse's hobbies, passions, interests be? And what advice can you get from your future spouse's spiritual teams to encourage you on your journey towards them? Oh, it has been a pleasure. I'm filming your intro after I filmed all the groups, so I can officially tell you that it has been a pleasure to film your readings today. I hope you get the answers that you're seeking, and please don't feel too discouraged if you have a heck of a lot of questions, because me personally, I'm so grateful that I did an extended reading because I left each group with a lot of questions. So there will be extended readings, which will be available to rent, purchase in the description box. Otherwise, keep your eyes open for part 2 of this series, because look at this. This is how much I have to cover. This right here is why this is a series and not a video. I asked you guys what you would like me to include in today's reading, and you really delivered, and I'm proud. Thank you so much. I'm always grateful for information. I see information as a resource, so this has given me a lot to work with, and I'm very keen for the next reading. I don't know when I'll be doing it, but it's going to be just as juicy as this one. So I hope this sets you in the right direction. I'm going to take you into the pick a group portion of today's reading now, where you can see the 4 different groups and find a pile that you're feeling most called to. And then from there, there'll be like a quick meditation portion. It's literally just over a minute where you can meditate with me and hopefully find which of the groups you're feeling most drawn to if it's not immediate. And then, yeah, jump ahead, click on your timestamp once you know, and I shall see you in your reading. Okay, so welcome to the pick a group portion of today's video. In today's video, we are using the Gem Oracle cards to choose our 4 groups today. We will have at least 4 different groups to choose from in this part 1 series. But there's going to be so many parts to this future spouse reading. It became very clear that we're going to, have to offer you many opportunities to get more information about your future spouse. So as always, take your time with the 4 groups today. Make sure that you are feeling pulled in a specific direction before you actually go with that. And if something isn't resonating, you don't have to commit yourself to that group. You're welcome to come back and choose again. So we're going to start with the left over here. This is group 1. Group 1, you have the sodalite crystal today. And the main reason I chose these cards is because there's so much to go off, basically. One card has a crystal, we've also got numbers, we've got signs, we've got chakras. There's so much to go off. So the sodalite crystal in this deck is associated with the number 22. We've got Capricorn, and we also have root chakra as well as the earth element and this yoga pose. So if there's anything on this card that resonates with you, you may have messages in group 1. Next, we have group 2 over here, lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli in this deck is linked to the water element. We have the number 28, Mercury, throat chakra, and this yoga pose over here. So lapis lazuli for group 2. See if there's any resonating messages there if you are feeling drawn to this card. Next, we have group 3 over here. Group 3 is the fire starter. So group 3 is red tiger's eye over here. We linked to the fire element on this card. We have the sacral chakra down here. We've got this yoga pose, the number 17, and the sign of Aries on this card as well. So that's group 3. Group 4, you guys have the malachite crystal. So in this deck, they've linked malachite with the earthy element. We also have the number 26. We've got Jupiter. We have the sacral chakra on this card, and also this yoga pose combined with the earth element. So that's group 4, malachite. I'm going to put this down and I'll let you pause the video now if you need more time. I will be doing a meditation in today's reading. It's just that 1-minute quick meditation that I've been doing, and it should help you hone in and focus on which of these 3 groups you're actually feeling most called to. If you want to join me in the meditation, you're welcome to continue watching. Otherwise, you know the deal. Once you know which of these groups you're feeling most called to, scroll down below, click on your timestamp, and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you, it could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi Group 1, and welcome to your reading. So lovely to have you here. If you chose the sodalite crystal card, then this is going to be your reading. So welcome, welcome, welcome. These cards often have so many messages for me as a reader. So we are going to come back to this, and I'm just going to keep it within eye range so I can see it. But we do have a lot to cover in your reading today. I would encourage you to check the description box just to see what you're in for. There's a heck of a lot that we're going to be getting into in part 1. I was like this, part 1, okay, in part 1 of your future spouse reading. The first thing I want to ask, because this came up a lot in the poll, first thing I want to ask is if this is a new or past person, okay? Now, if you get past person, I do encourage you to stick around for at least a few more minutes, because the next question that I will be asking is how will you recognize them? Because the future spouse may be someone that you're not expecting. So I will be clarifying a lot today and hopefully covering a lot. Now, just real quick, the first deck that I'm using is the Gentle Heart Tarot by Vanessa Samina. And I do have a discount code for Vanessa's shop as well. So if you want 10% off this deck, you've had your eye on it for a while, or you want to look at anything else that Vanessa sells, including her services. Vanessa also does consultancy. You're welcome to use that discount code. I don't know how much longer we'll be having it for, so I recommend you take advantage of it if you're seeing this video in September. All right, Spirit. Group 1, future spouse. Is Group 1's future spouse a new or existing person in their life? We have the Ace of Cups reversed. Okay, I would consider that to be a new, but I want to see what else comes out. Group 1, please, Spirit. Is this a new or existing person in their life, Spirit? New or existing? The Three of Swords reversed. Everything's saying no, no, no. Why are we getting all these no's, Spirit? Who is this person? Who is their future spouse? The Five of Diamonds. Okay. Who is group? All of these cards are saying no to me. No, no, no. Who is their future spouse, Spirit? We have the Fool. Why is the Fool coming out as a blockage? Can you show me, please, Spirit? That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So, sweets, what I'm seeing here is that your future spouse seems to be a new person, Group 1. Your future spouse comes after you have healed from a previous breakup, okay? And it doesn't have to be a breakup with a person. When we talk about healing, we can talk about issues that happened years ago that seem to resurface at unexpected times. And that's what the Three of Swords reverse could be insinuating. But there is a period here that you go through prior to this person entering your life where it feels like you have chosen something that wasn't exactly right for you, but it helped you grow. It was right for the time. It helped you see who you truly want to be, and it helped you learn about what you truly want. It felt like whatever that circumstance was, you stayed very stuck and trapped. Like you didn't leave willy-nilly. You were in that situation for a while, and then it took a long time of you realizing, okay, my environment's getting cold. I need to consider alternate options. I need to consider different circumstances. I need to change my life. And that's when this person comes in. I feel like it takes time with the Five of Diamonds. Five of Diamonds is a slow moving energy, and it's a change that happens over a period of time. It's not just overnight. So even though you may have had the thoughts or the feelings didn't necessarily feel as warm as they used to, and your thoughts started to wander a bit, I feel like it will take you a while to change your circumstances and meet this person. But they are showing up as a new person after you have healed from somebody else or another unfruitful situation. And I say unfruitful because some of you, it could be an unrequited love situation that you're trapped in. And it feels like you're just chasing the wrong thing. That's what it feels like. So I am seeing a new person for you. Now, let's see how you will recognize them, shall we? How will Group 1 recognize their future spouse, Spirit? We're going to get a lot of cards, so bear with me. This is going to be a messy spread today. How will Group 1 recognize their future spouse? Wow. So first thing to know is that they're very optimistic, okay? They're someone who has probably been through stuff themselves, and they're not someone who lets these situations overcome them. They have history in terms of they have battled with deep feelings, low feelings. Either they've lost someone or they've been through like a personal grieving period. This strikes me as like a depressive episode or just feeling like they've lost something, and yet they're still an optimistic person when you meet them, okay? We also have the Three of Diamonds here in the upright, so this could be someone coming to you in a work situation or in a friend situation. You're going to like collaborate with them. There's going to be shared time with them, okay? That's how you will recognize them. They seem to work well with you and with your co-group, whether that's your friends like them, your family likes them, okay? This is a likable person. They also come across as a bit humble, but we'll see about that, because I don't want to jump to that conclusion. I'm getting earth energy from this person, by the way. It could be Capricorn with the sodalite here. They could just be career orientated at the time that you meet them. We're also being shown the Ten of Swords over here coming out in the upright position. So listen, how will you recognize them? This person is ending a tough cycle when you meet them. This is someone who is ending a difficult cycle. They're on the verge of a serious transformation. You'll recognize this person because they seem to be someone who can take a heck of a lot. And they feel like they've been someone who's been betrayed before, which is interesting. You'll recognize them through their ability to overcome difficult circumstances, especially socially. I don't think that this person's like a drama situation, like I don't want to use that word, but they don't come across as a drama queen, for lack of a better word, literally. But I do think that there's a feeling of betrayal here and a feeling of like social needing to reinvent themselves socially. So maybe when you do come into each other's lives, they don't have a heck of a lot of friends, or they just don't have a lot of people around them except maybe family or close friends. And they seem to be needing to like end this difficult cycle and restart themselves. So you might come into this person's life at a time where they're literally just like wrapping up this loose end themselves and needing to push forward. Now, because of this, I want to say that communication with them initially could be difficult. They come across as someone who's trying to overcome some heavy feelings. And in order to do that, they keep things very professional or respectable on the surface. Like they engage in small talk, but I think it would be difficult to get into a deep and meaningful conversation with this person within the first instance of meeting them. It feels like this is someone who internalizes a lot. They have a lot going on in their beautiful mind, and they will only talk to you about what's happening in front of them. This is not necessarily someone that's going to delve into something deeper. Is there anything else they need to know about this person? Spirit's saying they're very optimistic though. They're very optimistic, and it will come across in their energy. You will see pain in their eyes, Spirit is saying, but there will be a smile on their face. Oh, who is this soul? Anyway, your bottom deck energy is the King of Swords. So yes, they're very analytical, very thoughtful, very calculated. They could be really strategic in terms of whatever they're planning in their life. It might be a very internal process though. I don't think that they share this with a lot of people. I think they're very selective over who they communicate with and what they communicate about. So that's how you will recognize them, and that is confirming that they are a new person. Let's have a look at how you meet now. I'm going to get some more cards down here. How does group 1 meet their soulmate? In this section, we're also going to be looking at a time frame and what signs you may experience. So, excuse me, I said soulmate, didn't I? How will group 1 meet their super spouse, their future spouse? My tongue is not loving me today. Group 1, please, Spirit. How will they meet their future spouse? Hello. We have the Queen of Wands coming out in the reverse position. How will group 1 meet their future spouse, Spirit? We also have the High Priestess coming out in the reverse. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So there's that opportunity again, manifesting in a material form. Friends or work, Spirit is saying. Somehow family is involved, but we'll figure it out. The Five of Pentacles again. Jeez, you're going through it when this person comes into your life. I don't know if you will recognize them immediately because you seem to be clearing up baggage from your past still. We also have the Two of Pentacles. You know what I just heard? This person may remind you of someone you used to know, and them coming into your life triggers your feelings about that past person. So I don't know if many of you will see them as the fresh, brand new opportunity that they are. I feel like many of you will look at them and go, oof, you remind me of somebody I used to know, and it's actually very painful. Interesting. And yet I think that this is a mislabeling, a misrepresentation, because either it's a physical feature or you just haven't taken time to actually get to know them and realize how different they are. Because the Fool is a brand new opportunity, like no baggage, no residual karma, just fresh, brand new opportunity. So it feels like there's something about this person that you're definitely not really expecting. You meet this person in an unlikely situation at a time when you're not really looking for them. I feel like there is a connection here. There's mystery around them though. They intrigue you. There's something about them that you just can't place. Your future spouse seems to be someone who comes into your life as an opportunity, and yet there is this feeling as though your circumstances are not affording you the opportunity to actually look at them. Like the Five of Pentacles twice, you're in a changing situation. Either you're changing jobs, you're changing relationships, whatever's going on, you're very focused on your material world. And I don't know if you recognize this person for who they are completely at first. You meet them in a situation where you're both seeming to grow from. Like you meet them in a temporary place is what I want to say. It's giving me like layover, stopover vibes, you know, like just as an example. This isn't going to be exactly how you meet them, but it's that idea of like you're transiting, right? You're on a long international flight from Australia to New York and you have to stop over at, I don't know, where do you stop over when you fly to New York? Let's say LA. You have a stopover in LA. You've at the airport for like maybe 4 hours and you meet this person there. It feels temporary. It feels unexpected. It feels like you're there for something else. And you don't recognize this person for how impactful they are, but there is a connection. You don't just see them and keep going on with your life. You obviously meet them. They present themselves to you and you feel a connection here, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You feel like you're in a busy place where you have to adhere to a schedule, like you have to consider waking up early tomorrow, or you have to consider the fact that you're only going to be in this situation temporarily, so you can't afford to offer a lot to that time. It feels like you do still try to make time for them though, mostly because you're curious. And even then, it feels like your meeting of this person leaves you with more questions than answers. There's something very alluring about this person too. It feels like your curiosity is piqued and your thirst is insatiated. So you kind of want more of them afterwards. This is someone that's going to be very much of like a curious, like not in a mind-boggling way, but more in like a, what was that? Who were they? What was that spark? Because I do think there's a spark, but I think that on your side, like you're just not seeing them as what they are at that time. You're just not expecting them. So is there anything else you can tell us about how they meet this person, Spirit? The Nine of Pentacles. So interesting. I'm hearing you will have alone time. This is giving me alone vibes. You will be alone. Nine of Pentacles. This is interesting because work keeps coming up. I don't know if you're like traveling for work or if like it's in a workplace situation, but you have an opportunity to be seen in your element by this person. Yeah, they're also saying school for some of you. The Nine of Pentacles could indicate you working on yourself in general. So it's like whatever you're working on, they get to see you doing that. That's how you meet them. So maybe you're working on your fitness or you're working on your skill set in the job situation, in a career situation, in a study situation. You're working on yourself when you meet this person. So take that and apply it to the context, because for some of you, the Nine of Pentacles is more health related, but for others of you, this is more about like independence and personal growth. So that's what makes me think of money as well and study as well. But you meet this person in a place where you are focusing on your growth. It's so interesting. I think that's as specific as I can get because it's a general reading. I'm sorry. I do want to ask about when you can roughly expect to meet this person. Obviously, the way that I do, oh my gosh, we have the Ace of Swords coming out. Okay, that's imminently, basically. That's the fastest card in the deck, except for the Knight of Swords. So listen, the way that I do timelines is I look at what's, happening in your life at that time. So
When can group 1 expect to meet their future spouse, Spirit? What's going on in their life around that time? We do know that this is going to be happening, but what else? Judgment. Yeah, you'll be awakening. You're appreciating the truth for what it is, and this means releasing your past and embracing your future. You're going through heavy transformation when this person comes into your life, and you're feeling like a new person, but you're not completely sacking and destroying your old past. It's like you're taking what you've grown from and you're using it to transform yourself into somebody who you want to be. It's this idea of reinventing yourself, not just annihilating who you were and being a completely new person. There's still aspects of the old you that will continue on. I do think that you're going to be in a very major cycle in your life that is quite painful when this person comes in, which is why you're probably preoccupied and so focused on why am I talking like this? So focused on personal growth. I think that this person seems to bring a truth with them, to be honest with you. Like you have a lot of truth yourself. You've awakened to a lot of knowledge without them, but their presence in your life, you meeting them, seems to solidify that extra I want to say validation lightly, because it's not like you need to be validated, but it's like you need to confirm that all of those actions that you took were justified, and their presence in your life seems to do that. You're like, wow. And it's both painful because you're still grieving who you once were and what you clung to and what you were attached to, whether that's a relationship or a circumstance. But you're also trying to look at the bright side of life. So there's a lot of truth here. There's a big awakening feeling here when this person comes in. And there's a lot of air. So it makes me think that this could happen very soon for your group. Very soon. Like when I look at air, I look at days to weeks. So obviously this is a general reading, but that's what's going to be happening in your life. Are there any other signs that group 1 can expect when this person comes in? What signs should they look out for when this person comes in, Spirit? What signs should they look out for? Oh, fell on the ground. We have the Page of Cups over here. So you should look out for friendly people, okay? Being invited to things having a friend reach out to you and start communicating with you and trying to make you more social as well. I feel like friendly people in general, that's a sign. You're going to feel like you're wanted more, or that people are starting to connect with you again and encouraging you to get out again and go to social events again. And these are the kind of things like, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Like, can we get a cup of coffee together? Like those sorts of things. It just seems to be like fun, friendly communication in general. Are there any other signs that group 1 can look out for in order to expect this person? The 8 of Cups, yes, you'll be starting new emotional cycles for yourself, which means leaving certain things behind. Walking away from emotional situations, relationships, people who do not satisfy your emotional needs anymore. And this feels like a positive thing, like it's not done out of spite. It's like, you know what, actually, this can only grow so much further. I'm going to start focusing on other things in life. You could expect to start feeling like you don't know where you're going, but you know what you're not going back to, if that makes sense. That's the way that I look at the 8 of Cups. It's like you don't really know what lies ahead, but you know where not to go to anymore. So you're leaving that behind you. And even though the road ahead is dark, you're just hoping, or you know that it's going to be better than what you came from. So it's interesting. It's that idea of like leaving something without really knowing where you're going to next. That's the sign to look out for here. We also have the 9 of Wands over here in the upright. So this to me feels like you're going to have, to really, it's almost like I'm hearing boundaries and expectations with this card. I think that with this friendliness comes a lot of resistance, because you seem to be resetting your emotional boundaries and other people are seeing it as, oh, this is an opportunity to spend more time with you. Yay, you got rid of the problem. And it's like, well, no, the problem was also lying within me, which is a difficult message to hear. But like sometimes the same behavior can come from different people for as long as we don't change those boundaries, you know, like it's not just them being a bad person, it's us allowing them to treat us in that way. And I don't mean to play the blame game here, because it's not supposed to be that kind of reading. But I do think with the Nine of Wands upright, there is resistance on your end. There is guards, walls up, boundaries, careful, don't come near me, I will poke you with my stick feeling. And I do think that the Nine of Wands is also just this feeling of like push, 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 push. So that you seem to be busy when this person comes in. A sign to look out for is honestly like you've got your walls up, you've got your busyness occupying you, and you don't seem to be fully receptive, but you're at least there to make small talk and having the opportunity to meet people. Even though it's not a deep and meaningful conversation, like you're still connecting. It's very interesting. I mean, I hope that sounds like you, because I can think of that applying to people. It's just a very general way of looking at quite a complex emotional time in your life. Is there any other signs they need to look out for before we move forward? The Queen of Swords is coming out reverse. So I feel like a change of plans or a change of mind. You are going to be in a very interesting place, because even though you don't know where you're going, you have certain ideas about what you want to do, and some of these ideas just don't seem to be going according to plan, to the point where you're constantly having your perspective changed and you're being constantly asked to reevaluate what you want to do, whether it's you trying to make time for other people in your life and them constantly canceling and you going like, come on man, like I just need a friend right now, really. Or whether it's you deciding to go on that travel vacation and having to constantly reschedule, rebook your flights, accommodation, etc. There's a feeling here of you planning and having ideas and having them constantly change. So there's a changeable energy here. It feels very Gemini-like, very mutable. And it's honestly just this feeling of like, you don't really know what to expect. So I would look out for friendly conversation, you walking away from an emotional pattern and trying to establish a new emotional cycle for yourself, you having, very high boundaries and certain expectations because of what you're walking away from and what you don't want to reinstigate. And you also having this sort of not ambivalent, but quick change energy around you that makes you feel like you can't really set anything in stone. And I think it's because you need to be open-minded when this person comes in. Otherwise, you are going to dismiss them. There's something about them that you're not expecting and that you don't seem to acknowledge at the time. And it's something quite beautiful that I think is going to be a story worth telling. So bottom deck energy is the Devil reversed. A sign to look out for is, yes, your boundaries will be high because you don't want to be manipulated again. You don't want to just force the same issues onto different people. There is this feeling of making the right choices and not being a scapegoat for other people's issues, or not making other people scapegoats for your issues. You're being very selective at that time in your life. Now, we're going to move forward. We're going to look at the blockages and challenges that may be blocking you from this person, as well as what you may be experiencing in your relationship with them and how to overcome them. So, Spirit, what are the main blockages holding Group 1 back from meeting their future spouse? We have the Six of Swords reversed. You're stuck in the past, Spirit's saying. And this is because you're focused on the wrong wish fulfillment. And listen, when I say wrong, I actually believe, even though it brings a lot of pain, that things do happen for a reason. It's not that you're focused on the wrong wish fulfillment. It's that your heart is set on something else right now. Your heart has not come into union with this person's energy. Your heart is focused on something else. Your heart needs to focus on itself as well. You're healing from something in your past, and in order to do that, you have to be selective and careful with your emotions. What else is blocking Group 1 from meeting their future spouse? On your side, we have a challenging energetic situation. So honestly, I feel like your energy right now is changing. I feel like you're going through a lot of changes, Group 1, and now is the time to kind of cull rather than tack on new levels of responsibility. You're culling your energy. You're releasing people, places, things, behaviors, thoughts, ideas, everything. You're trying to leave something from your mind behind, and you're trying to move forward, but it seems to be pulling you back. You're in a period of growth. So you're not blocked. You're exactly where you're meant to be, and you're supposed to be blossoming in this point in your life. But in order to do that, you have to be focused on yourself and not this person. So they're coming in after you are able to heal something from your past, you're able to reevaluate what will make you happy, and you're able to level up your energy by releasing these old attachments, setting new ideas for yourself, and focusing more on what is going to help you continue to grow. Let's see what's blocking this person from coming into your life now. What's blocking group one's future spouse from coming into their life? We have embrace in the reverse position. So this person could just be focused on other areas of their life, namely work. They seem to be very work orientated. They could also be focused on family. Embrace reverse just tells me that this person has other achievements that their sight is set on, and they have other cycles in their life that need to culminate before they come into your life. This person has to achieve something before they come into your life, and it's very much a cycle that will affect multiple aspects. It's that idea of like putting a lot of energy into this as a holistic approach and feeling a level up of character, a level up in emotional development, a level up in personality development, character, I guess, again, spirituality, all of that. Group one, what else is holding their future spouse back from meeting group one? Is there any other blockages? Anything else we need to know about why they aren't in each other's lives yet from their future spouse's side? What's going on in their future spouse? Yeah, this person is working on their happiness, and that's something that's going to stand out to you. Remember, when you meet them, you're going to see them as someone who is very, very happy, and it comes at a price because they weren't always the sun. They're going to be a very bright person in your life, someone who you seek happiness from, because they have this ability to radiate, like internally they glow. People are probably going to say that about your person, like, wow, your person just glows, like they glow from the inside. It feels like this person is just a very happy person. They may be quite funny too, good sense of humor, but I do see that that's what they're focusing on right now, their happiness. They're trying to overcome this loss, and we know that. So that's why you're so close to meeting this person. They're in that cycle at the moment where they're trying to overcome their loss in their life. They're trying to change their focus to be more optimistic and to cut their losses. It feels like they're grieving in general right now, though, group one. They're trying to overcome heavy feelings in general because they are trying to realign their judgment, in the sense of, this to me is the Justice card, and for it to be reversed, they're having to deal with other karmic areas in their life. Detached makes me think that this person is just focusing on areas of their life that have been imbalanced, partnerships, relationships, obligations. This makes me think that they could even be divorcing for some of you, separating from someone, or just focusing on imbalanced partnerships in their life in general, like with family, with friends. So, and what challenges will you face in this relationship? What are the main 3 challenges you may face in this relationship? We have Blossom coming out. Okay, yes. We know that. That's the Judgment card again. What are the 3 main challenges they may face in this relationship? We have the Crown Chakra reversed. Absolutely. Goshness. One more card, please. One more card for group 1. What is the challenge they may face in this relationship? We have refusing to see. Interesting. Yeah, this is all telling me the same thing. Heart chakra. A challenge for you is staying open to this person because you don't seem to be either expecting them or expecting to see them. Blossom tells me that a challenge here is actually going with the momentum behind you and allowing this connection to unfold in front of you. There is a feeling here of being aware and awakened to the truth. The truth is in all of these cards. And this card is saying that some sort of truth is going to hit you, but I don't know if you're going to be able to take it and actually grow with it. It's almost like some of you may be in denial, may not realize how impactful this person is, and it may take you a while to realize like how special they are. Even though you're going to meet them very, very soon, it does feel like for some of you it's going to take you a little bit to warm up to them. Even though they're this warm, funny, charismatic, I would even go as far as say charming person, it feels like you still struggle to see how they fit into your life. You don't know what the future holds with them. And it makes you miss the signs, because crown chakra reverse tells me that you miss the signs. You know, that's why we talked about how will you recognize them, how do you meet when, what signs to look out for, because it feels like you miss them. It feels like you don't necessarily see them at first. And this doesn't mean that you're going to miss out on this person, by the way, but a challenge in this relationship could be allowing yourself to actually step into it and to see it for what it is. I want to say that ongoing, this person has a lot to do with your spiritual growth, but maybe they may not be on the same page as you when it comes to spirituality. Maybe the two of you have different belief systems, or there is a separation in how you practice your spiritual beliefs. Maybe you don't see this person as being very spiritual, or maybe they're super spiritual and you're like, man, I just watch tarot readings. Like, I'm not really that into it. I don't know what it truly is, but there seems to be this confusion around whether you are spiritually aligned, and it makes you feel like you can't have a future with them at times, because the thing about this person is they feel so right. I feel like you're just nitpicking little things about them. And I think that with time, you'll realize how well you complement each other. It just feels like you ignore these big signs by focusing on all the little things that aren't going right, which is what the Two of Swords is talking about as well. Refusing to see the bigger picture by focusing on the smaller little details. I also think that this relationship will require you to have a lot of trust and potentially patience in one another, because I do think that there's a reason that you come into each other's lives. And I think that if one of you is more aware of spirituality, you may take it upon yourself to enforce your own belief system onto this person. And that is where you're going to meet a lot of resistance, because that is not your mission in each other's life. Your role is to help each other come into each other's personal growth, right? With Blossom here, there is no coincidence that you both enter each other's lives at a time where you're growing and purging old cycles. You're supposed to just do that. It's not about focusing on it from a spiritual side and enforcing your personal belief system onto the other person. It's more about showing love and compassion for each other through these changes, through this process of reinvention, and not forcing them to listen to only you because you're the one that's right. Yeah, and I think that if you can just sort of acknowledge those traits and work through them, then honestly, the rest of your relationship is just going to be sunshine and warmth from this person. They're very, very happy, optimistic soul. So let's have a look at what hobbies or interests they may have now. I'll be using the Divine Masculine deck from Encoding Shamanic Peacemaker, but please don't take it as like a sign of masculine, feminine gender roles. We're just using it to see what hobbies, passions, interests they may have. So group 2, please, Spirit, what is their future spouse's hobbies, passions, or interests? Group 2, what is their future spouse's hobbies? The Thief. Yeah, they're a quiet person, to say the least. They are a quiet person. We have the Addict. Okay. We also have Unawakened Man in the reverse. What are their hobbies, passions, or interests? Okay. We also have the Seeker. Yes. We also have the Henpecked Man. Okay. I might just get one more card. This is so interesting. One more. And we got 2. We have Obsessive. Yes, they're a Capricorn. We have Alien. Okay. Bottom deck energy is funny guy. So yes, this person is going to have a humorous bone for sure. Sorry, I really needed that water. Okay, they're going to be very funny, a little bit strange, they're a bit quirky, a little bit weird. They're going to be interested in very specific things. There is a spiritual side to them, but it could range from just having like a conspiracy theory side to them, where they're like going down rabbit holes of what's going on in the world behind closed doors. Or it could go as far as, yes, they're very much a seeker of knowledge and what is the meaning of life. They definitely have a spiritual side to them. I also think that this person just doesn't like to be kind of forced to do things. I think they have a free-spirited side that is very philosophical and detached. And this comes from them feeling confined in their past. So this is someone who may just go off grid and disappear from social situations. I have a feeling that they do go through their low moods where they have their, look at this, depressive episodes, or where they're just having to take care of themselves and focus on their mental health. And I think that this comes from them just knowing themselves well. They feel like a Capricorn. I've got to be honest with you, but I don't want to just fully put a sign on there. Obviously, your sun sign only forges part of your personality, but I do think that this person has that idea where like they're balancing their attachment to their material world by focusing on it and then also just becoming obsessed with it to the point where they have to withdraw and reevaluate their circumstances. Like, oh my gosh, I've become addicted to the routine of hustling, basically. That's what it feels like. That's what it's making me think of. Someone who likes to kind of get into routines. I also think, though, this person isn't someone who is used to being very forthright when it comes to their deep feelings. So like I was saying initially, I do think that this person is likable. A lot of people like them. They present well to family, friends, like your friends and family will like them. But I do think that it's harder to get beneath that external shell. Let's say that. This is someone who they keep their deepest, darkest, sensitive side kind of buried, suppressed. So that may be something that you could overthink, especially because you're showing up as very analytical. It may have you questioning where their loyalty lies or how deeply they feel for you. And I feel like this is something that you really need to talk to this person about, because I think it would really hurt them to see like how their actions and their withdrawn cold nature is forcing distance between you when actually it's the opposite of what they want. So try to talk about this with them and really focus on the fact that you're both growing, you're both learning, and this is someone who will continue to grow and learn in their life. They're not stubborn and stuck in their ways. They're very much trying to break out of patterns that aren't helpful. And I feel like this person, as much as they are sort of focused on themselves, they are also wanting like a future with you, clearly. So I think their hobbies and passions, they seem to be a traveler. They seem to be someone who's a bit of a creature of habit. They like routine. They do become obsessive and very like repetitive with their behaviors. So whatever they do, they spend a lot of time doing it before they kind of like go on to the next thing that has their attention. I do think that this person likes spending a lot of time by themselves. They're a bit quiet. And that was shown also with the Ten of Swords. Like they're very withdrawn. They either have very specific interests or they just kind of like to focus their attention on specific things, certain things at certain times. They have a spiritual side to them that comes across as very sensitive and a bit quirky, but it could just be that they like conspiracy theories, you know, like it doesn't mean that they're this full-on Buddhist monk, you know. It's a very different side to them where they believe in something bigger than what is seen in front of them. And I also think that this person is trying to discover like the meaning of life for them and their life purpose. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of their hobbies and passions. Next, we're going to have a look at advice from their guides. So let's see what their guides can offer you. What can Group 1's future spouse's spiritual team offer them in terms of advice and encouragement? Their spiritual team is encouraging you. Wow, look at this. We have twin coming out for you. Twin coming out, and it's in the reverse. I hate it when it does that. It's not really focusing. There we go. We also have someone soon, so it is going to happen very soon. We're getting that confirmation again that this is happening very soon for you. Group 1, please, Spirit. What else can you tell them about their future spouse? In terms of from their spiritual team, we also have ripe fruits. Yeah, this is beautiful. One more card. Is this burning an eternal flame? Is that Cyndi Lauper? I don't know. We have your light here. Bottom deck energy is visions. Wow. Yeah. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs. Focus on your vision. Focus on your goals. The advice from their higher self is basically saying that this person is going to be hard to miss. Okay. You definitely are not in union with this person yet. They're going to be hard to miss, Group 1. This is someone who is very significant in your life. They're going to feel like that other piece of you. And it's going to be a bit jolting because I do think that you're both very very independent people. You don't like to consider each other as I'm missing a piece of me. It's just like this person is a piece of you, okay? They're a piece of your heart for sure. There's like, you're very similar and yet you're also different, and you complement each other in that way. I also think that this person is coming into your life very soon. Their spiritual team is encouraging you to just focus on what is in front of you and to stay present in your moments, because this person is going to be here soon and you don't want to miss them because you are focused on other things, for example. I really do think that their spiritual team is already connected with you and is encouraging you to pick the fruits that are in front of you, in the sense of certain things are going to be developing in the coming days and weeks. And it's very much about you putting your hand out there and taking opportunity again. As difficult as it is to wrap up this cycle of your life, especially if you're dealing with an unrequited love situation or just a healing situation in general, where it feels like your thoughts are very stuck and you're trying to progress forward and it feels like it's happening very slowly, they're really just encouraging you to focus on your opportunities and to keep putting your hand out for more, because that is what is going to bring you into meeting this person, let alone union with them. Now, when we have your light over here, Spirit is honestly saying that the two of you are going to make each other very happy, and this person is going to recognize your light. There's a strong feeling here as though the chemistry between you is going to be very strong. And there is this feeling of recognition in each other's eyes. I do think that the two of you are going to have a profound meeting, however limited it is for time. There is this strong feeling of like, you know each other. You will recognize them when you see them, and they will in you. I think here, group one, what their guides are really trying to encourage you is to continue focusing on that pull that you have. It might be an energetic pull to make some big changes in your life, or to start focusing your attention in certain directions, because this is what is the catalyst to meeting this person and coming into union with them. It feels like your light is like your purpose, your spark, what gets you up, your zest, this feeling of ambition and progress within your journey. So I do see that the two of you will have a lot of chemistry and that they're very fun and they bring a lot of warmth. But for right now, their spiritual team is like, just focus on your light, focus on your zest, your purpose, your passion, your flair, what is keeping you going in this difficult time. And this person will come in exactly when they're meant to, which should be very soon for most of you, seriously. Group one, that's what I'm seeing for you. I'm going to take this into the extended now. Very lengthy reading. Keep an eye out for part 2 here on YouTube as well. It will be coming soon. In the extended reading, we're going to get more clarity around this person's mostly influence in your life is what I want to look at. Like how do the two of you help each other continue to grow? And this will be something I may discuss in a future part here on YouTube. But for this group, I really want to focus on that, because I do see that you're not supposed to be looking at each other as spiritual progenies. You're supposed to be looking at each other as spiritual catalysts that help each other continue to grow individually. So I'm really curious to see what Spirit has in store for you and what that will look like. We're also going to be getting some channeled messages naturally. I've got my channel messages deck over here. And I also just wanted to get more advice from your higher self, as well as maybe some messages around what their first impression of you will be. Let's look at that. Yeah, because I'm curious. Like, on your side, you don't seem to be paying a lot of attention to them, but on their side, they're like seeing you for who you are, and they're very much like interested in you, very curious about you. So I want to know what their first impression of you is. Let's do that. Yeah. So group one, if you want to join me in the extended, the link is going to be down below. The extended reading will be on Ribbon. You can choose to purchase solely your group, or you can choose to purchase all of the groups. It's up to you. There will be like a collection package versus like just one group. So links are down below. I just want to take a quick second to thank your guides, my guides, and our spiritual teams for helping me channel today's messages and for keeping me safe while doing so. Thank you for all of your support. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for future content. Thank you so much, Group 1, for joining me. I'll see you in another video. Bye. Welcome, Group 2. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I don't get these feelings very often. I wonder if I know some of you guys. Welcome, group 2. Oh, this could be even my own group. Goodness me. We've got a big reading ahead. I've got to conserve energy. I took a huge nap after group 1, just between us. So if you're here because you chose lapis lazuli. Why am I so excited to see you? Lapis lazuli is a very complicated crystal. It's about kind of analyzing feelings in this deck and understanding your deeper feelings, essentially knowing how you want to react and knowing what you want to follow when it comes to your feelings. So it's a big energy card, to say the least. I'm going to put it out here for a second because we need all this space. We've got a lot to get through. We're doing a huge future spouse reading. This is only the first part of the series as well. I have a huge page of A4 sheet of paper of ideas that I wanted to here with this series. So let's get started for you, group 2. We're starting with the first topic. You'll see the topics in the description box below. First thing we want to know for you, group 2, is do you already know this person or are they a completely new person? Group 2, please, Spirit. Is their future spouse a new person or someone they already know? Is their future spouse? We got the Knight of Swords coming in. Interesting. That's a yes. Is this a new person or someone they already know, Spirit? Group 2. Is their future spouse? Can you please tune me into group 2's energy? There's a lot going on here for them. We also have the 10 of Diamonds reversed. Interesting. Is this a new person or somebody they already know, Spirit? Tune me into their energy. We have the Knight of Diamonds again. I only say again because we've got 2 knights out here now. And we have the 6 of Crystals reversed. This is giving me wishy-washy energy. I would say this is a new person. I don't think you have history with them. I think that they may take their time though. They're new in the sense that you haven't had a relationship with them yet, okay? There is a feeling of taking a long time to become acquainted, to court one another. They could just be a slow mover in general, but you definitely haven't had a relationship with them. This is somebody who, once they're a part of your life, they're going to be there for a while, clearly. So they're your future spouse for a reason. So I definitely not an ex, but they could be someone that you already know. So now we're going to have a look at how you can recognize them, what will stand out. I just want to say that if you like this deck, this is by Vanessa Samina. I do have a discount code down below. You can get 10% off the deck from her website, bowlife.com. And this discount code may not be here forever. So if you're seeing this video in September, definitely take advantage of it. Spirit, how will this person stand out to group 1? How will this person stand out to group 1? Oh, what a weird person. In a good way. I can see why they stand out. They're definitely different. There's a feeling of you can't get over them. You can't get over them. Why do you try to get over them in the first place? Why do you try to get over? Oh, the answer's staring me right in the face. This is terrible. Unrequited love. Only because it's a misconception. Is this serious? Spirit, come on, please. Honest answers. Group 2, how will they recognize this person? The King of Diamonds. Okay, so listen, I'm going to just talk about what I'm feeling and then we're going to get more messages because I need to start sharing these thoughts that are whirling around in my head. We have the 5 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Oh, it's giving me hibbity-jibbities. This is somebody who you tell yourself you can't have, or someone who you tell yourself is not going to see you or want to be with you, which is a complete misconception. They're your future spouse. They're unforgettable because there's a part of you that feels like you already have to let go of them before you've had them. You're going to find it very hard to forget about this person, group 2. Always at the back of your mind. I'm hearing that song, You Were Always on My Mind. Oh, I don't know the name of that song, but it used to play at those early hours of the morning after a big night, and there was always those poor souls sending their love energetically to the people that they miss. It's a beautiful feeling, but there is sadness here. You can't get over them. It's going to be hard to forget this person. They're always going to be at the back of your mind. Now, there is something about this person that stands out about them too, their communication style. There's something that they say or something that they didn't say. It's like conversation was started, but it never ended appropriately. It was just cut off abruptly, or it was only one-sided. There's something else that you want to say to them, and it's going to stand out as to how you can recognize them. Because I think you value communication with this person, and either they have answers that you need, or you feel like you need to have a conversation in order to gain the answers that you need. They seem to be very smart as well for the Queen of Swords to be here, a very intelligent person in general, someone who you may meet online, or there is just a communication barrier here in general as well, like you can't talk to them directly. You're feeling very restrained in how you approach them, and a lot of it is because you tell yourself that you can't have them, or that this is an unrequited love situation. The Ace of Cups reversed. You will recognize this person because either they're in a relationship with somebody else at the time that you meet them, or you're just telling yourself you can't be with them. I don't think they're in a relationship, but with the King of Diamonds here, they could have something else standing in the way. This could be like a serious blockage by way of like this person's just focused on other areas of their life. They're not looking for love, and they've made it very clear they're not looking for a relationship. This person could have a status barrier as well, like maybe the two of you know each other through mutual friends or family, and it would just be inappropriate to cross that boundary. They will stand out because they are very physically attractive. I think that a lot of people find them attractive. They could be charismatic and charming as well, like good with their words, and draw a lot of attention to themselves because of what they say. I want to say with the King of Diamonds here, they could be status. Like they could have status, like they could be wealthy, they could stand out from the crowd because of the car they drive or because of the clothes they wear. There's something about them that physically stands out and is a symbol of status as well. So interesting. I'm going to get some more answers first, because that doesn't satisfy my curiosity. How will group 2 recognize their future spouse? How will group 2 recognize their future spouse? The Hierophant. Spirit, is this person married? Or is it just advice? There is a physical block here. There is definitely a physical block here. I don't think that it's necessarily that they're married, but there's definitely a physical block here. Your future spouse is someone who is either very vested in money, or they're just not able to be where you want them, if that makes sense. It feels like this person is hard to pin down. You'll recognize them because they'll be the one that doesn't seem to give you as much attention as you want from them. It feels like this person is focusing more on themselves and their money and trying to change their circumstances. This is someone who seems to take life very seriously when it comes to like goals, like that job, I gotta get that promotion, I gotta get that car, I gotta buy that house, like tick, 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 tick. They like ticking boxes. How will you recognize them though, Spirit? How will group 2 recognize this person? They do give good advice, Spirit is saying, because they're so practical and they understand the 3D world well. They do give good advice. I'm so intrigued as to how this person becomes your future spouse. They're a slow mover. They don't seem to really jump towards things willy-nilly. They seem to come in hot, have some good conversation, and then they leave you with a lot of questions. They're difficult for you to get over. They're very serious. I'm honestly getting a lot of energy from this person being invested elsewhere, and you just having like this crush on them, not being able to forget them, not realizing that actually like this person has feelings for you too, you just have never explored it. It's very confusing. So I'm going to jump to the next question. We're going to ask how you meet this person, when, and what signs to look out for as well. So Spirit also reminded me that this person could be like your manager or like your boss, your supervisor as well, only because they do seem to have their 3D wits about them. They do seem to be someone who's materially successful, so that could be a connection for some of you as well. Let's plow forward. We're going to use a different tarot deck now. How does group 2 meet their future spouse, Spirit? I'm so curious about this love story. How does group 2 meet their future spouse? How does group 2 meet their future spouse? Wow. Emperor energy. Welcome, Aries. Oh, this person's so attractive. Yes, they are. We've got the King of Pentacles out again. Okay, so there is some sort of like a social thing going on here, but it's not... They have responsibility to act a certain way towards you. They can't just be open and give. They have a responsibility to act a certain way around you. You'll most likely meet this person in the presence of other people who you mutually respect, potentially love. And in order to not destroy those mutual acquaintance, friendships, family, relationships, whatever it is, I see that you're both needing to be careful about how you act, what you say, what you do. Excuse me, where is all this gas coming from? I feel like this person is going to be someone who's very much in their element, very focused, very masculine in terms of they're very driven. I'm talking about energy, not genders. Masculine energy is very assertive, goal-orientated, action-orientated, here for the risk-taking if it's going to be successful. Shoot your shot, I want that reward type of energy. Somebody who is hustling. You meet this person when I feel like their focus is not on you, essentially, but it's mostly because they do notice you. Group 2, they do notice you. They're trying not to notice you, though. They're trying not to pay attention to you. So, Spirit, what is the context of this situation? We have the 10 of Pentacles. Family could very well be involved. What is the context of this situation, Spirit? How do they meet? The Fool. Interesting. Whose new beginning is it? Group 2 or their future spouse? Group 2. Yeah, you guys seem like fledglings ready to embark on a new adventure, and this person has got like their roots into something and they're ready to grow within something, like a structure. They have sown their seeds, you haven't. You're at a time in your life when you meet this person where you're like a blank slate. You've just closed a long, arduous cycle. It makes me think of like a grad student, right? You just graduated, you're celebrating, the world's your oyster. You haven't been accepted in terms of jobs yet. You're just keeping your options open. You're here nor there. It feels very much like you're just kind of taking the days as it comes, taking the opportunities as they roll towards you. This person has responsibilities. They have their roots in the soil somewhere, and they have to act a certain way towards you. They have to respect those boundaries, and they have to honor something that they're already committed to. For some of you, and I want to say this is only like 5% of you, it could be another relationship in terms of love. But for most of you, it's another relationship to another structure, whether it's a family structure, a work structure, or something else that they've set in their life. They have to honor that structure and they have to dismiss their feelings. I get that for some of you, this could be like a female who is very masculine and dominating and responsible and practical, and it's just like, it feels like they turn that off when they're with you. Like they're not allowed to be feminine. They have to act responsible. Interesting. Let's keep going forward though. That's obviously not going to apply to all of you. Most of the people who watch me are females. And I don't choose to talk about gender because in my mind, I'm here for the energy, not the physical vessel it inhabits. Oh my days. Okay, so you seem to meet this person definitely when they're at a difficult point in their life where they're struggling to identify how to end something properly. It's kind of that horrible feeling you get where you know there's pain, but you don't know where the pain is. And there's a grogginess about this as well. So I feel like this person is cycling through some actions or behaviors that they're definitely less than favorable. I'm hearing toxic traits. And they're just trying to like figure out where to face the light from here. So it's very interesting. I think that you meet this person in a situation though, where you've definitely got places to be, people to meet. You're on the up and up and up, and this person is just growing very slowly. We also have the King of Swords reversed now. So you're both very similar in that a lot of the conversation you could have been having with each other is internal. There's a lot of thought, there's a lot of reflection, there's not a lot of communication with one another. You meet this person in a situation where you're having to You're very curious about them, but they're being very responsible. There's not a lot of giving and taking equally. There's a lot of staring, a lot of thinking, not a lot of talking, especially not by yourselves. There seems to be growth in your life that's happening around the same time, mostly because you have options. And I feel like this person is like they've already got their foot in something, they can't get out of it. So Spirit, when will group 2 meet this person? See, for many of you, you may have already met this person, okay? For many of you, Spirit, you may have already met this person, you just haven't come into union with them yet. But what about for those of them who haven't met this person, Spirit, when can they expect to meet them? It's going to take a while, because this person has to... Why do they have to accomplish so much? What are they? Who are they? Who are they? Why do they have to accomplish so much? When is group 2 going to meet this person, Spirit? When is group 2? For those of you who haven't met this person yet, when can group 2 expect to meet this person? Three of Cups reversed. It's going to be a matter of months. I want to get a second opinion. When will they meet this person? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, yes. I'm so sorry. It's only because they move slowly. It's a matter of like 3, I want to say the other way around. It could be within the next 3 years or 9 months. And the reason why I say that is because for this card to be reversed, it feels like that's not the number. It's rather the time, the months. It feels like 9 months to 3 years. Mostly because this person has goals in the physical world that they're hustling through, and they seem to be a slow person when it comes to moving in relationships. You're both very analytical. You both need time to process your feelings. And for those of you who are in separation, when can you expect union? When can those who know this person expect union with them? Again, take this with a grain of salt, okay? We're talking about a slow mover here. Okay, so they're giving us months to years again. Months to years again. For the King of Cups and the Three of Pentacles to be here, it could be 3 years. It could be a matter of like months. And I feel like for the King of Cups to be here, this is why I don't necessarily like to do time frames on general readings, because I don't want you to get your hopes up when this is being seen by thousands of people. And I also don't want you to pigeonhole focus on this when there are other things that your attention and your happiness could be calling you towards. But I do want to say that a lot of you two coming together involves this person embracing their more feminine side, or at least their more passionate, not necessarily passionate, compassionate side, their caring side, their friendly side, the side that is like receptive and open to love and isn't afraid of being in love. There's something about this person that's like they're fighting love, especially when it comes to you. So it feels like this person needs to learn how to work well with people, to let them in and to achieve the emotional dreams that they have as well. And this person, when it comes to you, is just like you push them closer to themselves because they refuse to actually acknowledge the feelings that they have for you initially. Very interesting. So what signs can group 2 look out for, Spirit, when it comes to meeting their future spouse? What signs should they look out for? We have the Knight of Pentacles. I swear to God, this person couldn't move slower if they were walking on the moon. It's so frustrating. Okay, so here's the signs to look out for. Look out for someone who walks like they're walking on the moon. No, but seriously, they move very slowly, and it's only because they have big plans for themselves. I don't want to get into that because this is about you and them, and I feel like their plans are their plans, and they're very analytical about their life. They're very materially focused, but it's about following that analytical plan, needing to take calculated steps towards guaranteed success, and they're happy to be slow and patient about it. They're happy to think extra long about it first. They're happy to just, you know what? Love will come when love is meant to come. This opportunity is here now. I've scheduled in my life and I'm going to get married when I'm 34, which is in 10 years. Right now, I can hustle for my career. And it's just like, oh my days. Keep an eye out for plans. Plans. Okay, that is your word. In terms of other signs, things in your life might really slow down in order to accommodate for this person's slow moving energy. Like attracts like. If they're moving slow and your life is really busy and chaotic and crazy, this is going to repel someone like this from your life. So things could really slow down in order to accommodate for this person's energy. What else does group 2 need to look out for when it comes to meeting their future spouse? What else should they look out for? We have the Knight of Swords. This is interesting because we got them up there, remember? So we're having them show up again. The Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is the complete opposite energy to the Knight of Pentacles, where we have this action-orientated planner, this strategic thinker, right? The strategic action-orientated person. This Knight of Swords is like, is that a window? Let me jump through it. Is that a light switch? You know what? It's dark. I'm just going to turn that on. This isn't even your house. It doesn't matter. It's dark. This is someone who acts on a whim, on a thought, on a idea, on a notion, on a feeling. It's just like, you know what? Yes. I don't even have to think twice. Let me just run in the direction of the wind and see where the wind takes me. So the way that this complements the signs that you will experience is, I think that there's a lot that happens with this person. Like, while things move slowly, while your life may slow down, I think that you within yourself are going to feel a pull. And I do think that there's going to be parts of each other's behavior that will be uncharacteristic. So you may act in a different way to what you usually do. For these two to come out, it feels like a flip. This person's going to be moving fast, you're going to be moving slow type of energy. I want to say that somebody is definitely going to chase the other person. Are there any other signs they need to look out for, Spirit? Is there any other signs they need to look out for? Oh my gosh, we just went all over the ground. I can't accept those. That's too many. What other signs should group 2 look out for when it comes to meeting this person? I apologize, your reading is so much more different than what I was hoping it would be. It's not as straightforward, unfortunately. We have the Star coming out reversed. So honestly, it feels like I'm hearing our love was lost. So it's like things go slow and then they happen quickly and then they go slow again. You're like, I have all these questions. What's going on? I feel like this is going to happen at a time in your life where something about this is unexpected, but also it just feels jarring because it conflicts. Like something's wanting to move fast, the other thing's wanting to move slow. It's so bizarre. In terms of a sign, I want to say that your actions may be very mixed here. Like on one hand, you're moving slowly, but you may also just be doing certain things impulsively. Like the way that I would see this is someone who's very bored and you're just like, you know what? I'll just sign up to the gym. It's that time. I've got nothing else to do. Let me do that instead. It's so bizarre. It feels very contradictory is the best word I could use. And for the Star to come out reversed, it's not that you won't see signs, but it's that the signs won't necessarily be obvious because you seem to be very stuck in a routine here and you seem to just be living vicariously online or like through these little bursts of energy around the time that this person comes in. These little things that you're hyperfixated on. Is there any other signs you can offer group 2, Spirit? We've got to move forward. Can you please offer them something? The Chariot, movement. Somebody could be moving around the time that this person comes into your life. This could be important because it seems to be something that you're experiencing. Because remember, you've got this new thing going for you. You're the Fool. You've got a window that's opening and you're like, you know what? Yes, I want to go sow my seeds. I want to see what's out there. I want to see if I can grow beans. I've never grown beans. I've only grown tomatoes. And I think that good things are happening for you and you are seeing like progress in your life. And I do think that it could entail you wanting to physically move as well. But I want to say that the time that this person comes into your life in a significant way, because this is what will apply for all of you, even if you've already met this person and you're in separation. I see significant progress being made in your connection at a time when you're feeling more balanced. You have some solid plans for yourself, some solid foundations, but you're also open to new opportunities. You're not limiting yourself based on your critical vision where this person may be. You're still kind of like looking forward and keeping that door open for new opportunities. So that's what I'm seeing. We're going to have to move forward. We're running out of time, sadly. We're going to jump forward to see the blockages and challenges that may be currently standing in your way. So Spirit, what blockages may be standing in group 2's way from coming into union? Trust. The Fool card again. A block here is taking a leap of faith towards your new opportunities. A block here is accepting that you have something in front of you rather than waiting for something to happen for you. A block here is trusting yourself, apparently, trusting what you feel and honoring your intuitive beliefs. And this is mostly because you do have the ability to see things and to understand things in a way where you know like what you want to do. You seem very smart in the way that this person is, very similar in that way. And I do think we have the King of Swords. Yeah. A block for you is trusting what you may already know about this person, and trusting that whatever leaps of faith you take towards certain avenues in your life, they're not going to take you away from them. They're actually going to bring you closer because you're moving forward successfully in the direction that your soul is calling you. So it's not about paying attention to the signs of this relationship, but it's actually paying attention to the signs that your soul is calling for you to see. And I really feel like this is only really a block because you know some things that you're refusing to see because you don't want to admit that it's true, because maybe there is a little bit of pain there. Maybe there's pain in admitting that you've been focusing on the wrong direction, or that you've been stubbornly avoiding something as well. Only take that if it resonates. I feel like that's a very specific message. Group 2, please, Spirit, what are the blockages on their future spouse's side that is holding their future spouse away from them? Throat chakra, obviously. Communication. This person just doesn't talk about their feelings. This person is very closed off. This person is very logical, analytical, internal, stuck in their head. Yeah, they don't see a good thing until they've missed it. This is someone who thinks after. That person who likes to be in the shower and then they're like, damn, 2 days ago when I had that argument, I should have said this and I would have won. That's the kind of person they are. Is there anything else you can tell us about the blockages in this relationship currently? What's going on here? I'm going to have to go into this in the extended because we're running out of time, sadly. Blockages, Spirit, in this relationship. Is there any way for them to get into union? A major block here is both being open and able to receive love from each other. So the tricky thing about this is you don't seem to trust your feelings and they don't seem to want to listen to their feelings. So love is the answer and also the block. I think that with this person, they're a slow mover, they're cautious because they overanalyze a lot. They automatically think like, it's probably not going to happen, so I'm just not going to try. And it's like, excuse me? This is right here. Like, you don't have to even try. You can just turn around and pick it up. Like, it's right there. The phone's ringing. Pick it up. Opportunity beckons, and this person will ignore it because they're the kind of person that doesn't realize until it's almost too late. And where you, on the other hand, I feel like by the time they realize, you may be pulled in a completely different direction. I've got to be honest with you, group 2. You may be paying attention to other things in your life. So it's not that you miss each other, and that's definitely something that we're going to have to cover in a future reading because I am running out of time. But I'm curious to know how you actually come into union with all of this unfortunate timing. What challenges may they experience in their relationship, Spirit? Group 2. What challenges may they... Yes, obviously, coming into balance with one another. Temperance, again, is a blockage. Your energy is so similar, yet so repulsive in the sense of you repel each other by assuming the worst out of the situation simultaneously. You're both so similar though. You're so similar. You assume the worst before it's happened. You both feel the same. A big challenge is coming into union in your connection. Group 2, what is another challenge in their relationship? Mostly because you need to see eye to eye. Do you see in the middle of this card how they share an eye here? You need to see eye to eye with one another. And in order to do that, you have to talk about your feelings. We also have the 2 of Wands coming out. So yeah, spread your wings. I got choices. I need to make my plans. Okay. I don't need to be a part of your plans then. Oh, okay. But I wanted you to be a part of my plans. It's very frustrating because a blockage here is that you're kind of focusing on your growth, not acknowledging that you could be growing together. It's like you look at life as, I have to grow before I settle down. I have to do this before I settle down. I have to have my shit sorted before I settle down. And I don't think that's really the case. You can have your cake and eat it. You can have a spouse and still grow and focus on your career and focus on sowing your seeds and do all of this stuff that you've dreamed of and planned for. And I think that that's something that either this person was not factoring into their grand scheme of life, or it's something that you just never saw this working out because it was like, you know what, I'm actually just focusing on the opportunities in front of me. And it's like, well, okay, but this opportunity is in front of you too. Yeah, but that opportunity is not acknowledging me. Okay, well, I feel like you need a mediator to bring the 2 of you together, because it's like none of you want to come to the plate and say, like, this is where I'm wrong. This is where I'm wrong. This is how we can work together. Nobody's really wrong, but we have to admit that the current situation isn't working. So what can we do to change that? Do we both want the same thing? Oh my gosh, we do. You do like me. Oh my gosh, you love me. Wow. Okay. Interesting. It's only taken me 3 years to realize that. Holy heck. It's good being in this objective position, and I realize that I'm probably minimizing a multitude of issues that could be standing in your way, but I do think that it takes a long time because you're not really aware of the fact that you can grow together. You're looking at it as, oh, I'll only do that when I'm ready to settle down. I'll only find love when I'm 34. And it's like, oh my gosh, you met the love of your life when you were 21 and you let them go because they weren't a part of your plan? What? Is there anything else they need to know about the challenges, Spirit, before we move on to some fun things? Is there anything else they need to know about the challenges? Oh gosh, ask and ye shall receive. Detach, yeah. A challenge here seems to be judgment, and mostly because this relationship could be a little bit questionable. I think that the only reason it's questionable is that marriage seems to be something that you take seriously. Likewise for this person. A challenge here is getting to that point. But I feel like once you're there, you both take this relationship very seriously. You both honor each other, and there is a strong desire to continue building something as individuals while also focusing on your marriage. So listen, I know I'm talking about marriage. You don't have to have a spouse to be married. You don't have to be married to have a spouse, etc. But you take relationships seriously, both of you, and you both seem to want this. A challenge could be getting there in the first place, okay? And I also think a challenge will be just prioritizing time to work on the marriage, mostly because one of you is very focused on work in general. And I do think that the other thing is just keeping that communication open, ongoing, creating that safe space to tell each other what you're actually thinking and not what you want to think, because this person thinks a heck of a lot. And I think that at this point in their life, especially when they're single, they only share like 5% of their thoughts with the people around them. So to have someone there who they genuinely care about, which is you, to actually talk to, it's very difficult for this person to be like, oh, you want to know everything? Are you sure? There's a lot going on up there. Not a lot of it is good. Okay, I'll tell you everything, but please promise me you won't be scared. So it's interesting. It's about keeping that communication open because you've got needs as well. And if this person clams shut, they're not fulfilling your needs. So bottom deck energy is keeping the relationship moving forward by addressing these challenges. And most of the challenges seem to be just coming into union in the first place. Oh, they might be a Virgo, this person, or just like a stubborn Libra who's like set on tasting what the world's finest goods before they settle down. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's have a look at this person's hobbies and passions or interests. What is Group 2's future spouse interested in, Spirit? What are their hobbies? What are their passions? What is Group 2's future spouse interested in? Oh, Divine Masculine coming out. This is the Divine Masculine deck. Again, I read energies. Oh, hello. Okay. Oh, stop. That's a hobby. Apparently, pushing people away is a full-time hobby. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, are we surprised? Group 2. What is this person's hobbies? Yeah, they're so good at hiding their true thoughts and feelings. I think even people who love them and know them well struggle to connect with them. Like their parents, I saw this on Instagram the other day. I lied, it was this morning. Their parents might be the kind of parents who like, they talk about, yeah, I know my child very well. And then they'll list everything that their child liked when they were 9 years old. That's what it seems to be like. Like the people who know this person don't actually know them. They love them. They don't actually know them. So what is this person's interest? Oh my gosh. Okay, they got a lot. You seem to unlock parts to this person's personality that they didn't even know that they wanted. They're going to really adore the volume that you bring to their life because they thought they had substance, they thought they had purpose, value, and meaning, and then you come in and you fill in all the gaps and it makes them feel so cherished and valuable. They suddenly feel like their life has a really enriched purpose and that they are someone who contributes valuable energy to this thriving consciousness. Now, your bottom deck energy is struggling musician. So listen, music could be a bit of a hobby, but it's probably something that they haven't thrived in. They might write songs. It doesn't really go on anywhere. It's more of an expression or an outlet. We're being shown hipster. So hipster has gaming, music, c'est la vie, living in the now, and hanging with friends. So I'm getting that they're a simple soul. They have like simple pleasures. They probably like doing things that they've done most of their life. They are someone who pushes a lot of people away, and they're very good at hiding who they truly are from most people. They are someone who screens calls and text messages and will be very selective over who they call back. They are at their core a family-orientated person, though, who values loyalty and commitments, and they take that as a big responsibility. So they're going to be very committed to you once they're committed. They do have that divine masculine energy. I was picking up on that ages ago with all this Aries energy. They have the ability to move towards goals, to be innovative, to be powerful, to also be compassionate and ground things in their life through their energy. This is an orientated action and what's the word I wanted to use? A task and action orientated person. So just like a forward mover. They don't like to stay stagnant, but they don't like to overtly take risks either. I'm getting that they are very much a simple soul, quite peaceful. They don't like to cause arguments. In fact, they cringe and shy away from it, which could be why there's a blockage in this connection. If they're your boss, for example, they're not going to rock the boat. If there's a family thing going on, they're not going to rock the boat. They are someone who seems to be like a mediator for other people as well, as what I'm getting. Just a genuinely kind person. They have strong values is what I would tell you. They have strong values. They are someone who values marriage. I knew it. This is someone who's low-key wanting to get married and be committed and to have that. I'm hearing that sauce. So they got the chicken, they just need the sauce. Okay, interesting. They have the money, they have the career, they have the stability, they just need the partner. Oh, this is kind of like sad. But it's temporary because they're your future spouse. So they're going to have the partner. But there's a lot of sadness there before you come in. They think about that. How is that a hobby? How is being a married person a hobby? It's definitely something they're interested in. Let's just say that they're interested in marriage. They value it. They take their time with it because it means a lot to them. Maybe they've had parents that have separated and they don't take it lightly, or they've seen other relationships fall apart and they're like, that's a big deal. Getting married, having kids, it's a big deal. Slippery fish, doesn't want to settle down. We have walking away as well. So this card specifically says choosing me, moving on, new beginning, starting fresh, dependence, goodbye and good luck. So yeah, this is definitely a pusher in terms of they push forward. You put this person out in the cold, they're like, you know what, I like the cold. I'm going to start selling snow and make a lot of money out of it. I feel like they're someone who is selective and careful about who they let close to them. A careful homebody, very particular with their interests. Their interests haven't changed for years, and just a genuinely kind person. Careful about who they communicate with, who they let into their lives, close to them, value friendship, value family, value marriage, and a very dynamic masculine energy. Let's have a look at the advice from their higher self now. Can we please get advice for group 2 from their future spouse's higher self? Can we please get advice for group 2 from their future spouse's higher self? We have your dreams are closer than you think, 44 in the reverse. That song always comes out. Is it Tears for Fears, Spirit? Don't dream it's Crowded House. How dare you? Crowded House. Group 2, please, Spirit. Oh, thank you. I'm going to watch Donnie Darko now. We have 72, Broken and Hatched, coming out. I'm thinking out loud. This person is definitely a contemplative person, just very thoughtful. It's making me think of things that I shouldn't be. We're doing a reading, Lorraine. Stop being so rude. Oh my days, look at that. Hello, welcome. I like this deck, but it can be very chatty when it's frustrated. All right, the card that came out was Smother. Interesting. Can I get one more card, please? I apologize for interrupting. We have Volcano as well. Interesting. So advice from this person's higher self. What they want to tell you, group 2, is that first of all, this person will come when they're ready. That's just who they are. They're a slow mover. They're stubborn. They're very focused on this plan, and Spirit's like, okay, we can give you that. We can accommodate for those needs. If that's what it's going to take for you to realize that life isn't all about boxes, then we're going to give it to you. And you're going to realize that life isn't all about boxes, and you've missed out on an opportunity for something very meaningful that you actually want. So in the meantime, while they do this roundabout thing where they think that they're going the right way, only to realize that they've bypassed everything that they've actually wanted, their spirit is encouraging you to take advantage of the opportunities that you have, because you've got doors opening for you right now, whether that's by way of other emotional opportunities or just in general with your growth. There seems to be this change in perspective on your side that is actually helpful, because your energy is not smothering them. I think that this person is very hesitant to engage in energies or people who come across as smothering, because they come across as someone who likes to smother when they're ready. They're the kind of person who's like, don't touch me. But if they like you, they will be all over you. So it's a massive feeling of, listen, they have their own healing to do when it comes to intimacy and being afraid of settling down in general, while also valuing settling down. So the worst thing you could do is try to smother them and force them to fit this mold for you. Just let them figure it out for themselves and divert your energy to other opportunities. They do want you to know that you technically can't miss out on each other, but there is a feeling of something having to crack open and fully hatch or form in order for this connection to work. Just because someone's brought you the egg doesn't mean you're guaranteed to have that union straight away. There is something about your connection that takes patience, and it's honestly not necessarily reasonable, but I'm hearing that it is well worthwhile. Once this connection grounds, once you come together, you're able to grow and heal mostly this person's intimacy issues and your need to have somebody else fulfill those certain needs rather than you seeking it for yourself. It feels like all of this comes together in a nice package exactly when it's intended to. And it's one of those funny things in life that you're going to realize once it happens couldn't have happened any other way. But until then, You have to remind yourself that you can't force something to happen here. With broken and hatched, it's like their higher self is saying, like, you've got the egg, you just have to wait for the creature to hatch out of it now. You can't force that chicken to be here. You can't force that baby to be born. It has to happen when it's ready. And I do think with Volcano that once things do get moving, once there is that explosive opportunity to share feelings, to share thoughts, to really connect, things will collide and happen in such a sudden, eruptive way, almost in a distractive way, because it's so much energy coming out at once. There is a feeling here as though there are some big changes that are about to happen in each of your lives. And this person's higher self is like, you know what? Trust that when it is meant to happen, you will not be able to miss it. And that's honestly a message that has come through in the other group as well in a different way. So I hope this was helpful for you, group 2. I feel like we covered so many topics. I was only really able to shave off a little bit. Your meeting and union is very complicated, so I'm definitely going to take this into the extended. The first thing that I want to discuss is like how the two of you actually come into union, because that's something that I feel could have been a whole reading in itself. That could have been a whole 40-minute reading in itself. So I'm going to write it down too so I don't forget. And we're also going to elaborate. I just want to know more about this person's personality, because if you do know them already, I want to make sure that you've got the right person in mind, because there are, when it comes to relationships, a lot of false starters, and I just don't want you to get your hopes up on the wrong person. So we're going to clarify their personality. We are going to get channeled messages, and I honestly think that you do need more advice as well. So those are the 4 things that we're going to look at. How do you come into union? We're going to look at this person's personality, exactly what they're like. We're also going to be getting channeled messages from their higher self, what their higher self wants to tell you. And we're also going to get more advice from your higher self and your guides on this situation. So the extended is down below. You can choose to purchase your group individually, or you can choose to purchase the whole reading in terms of all 4 groups. It's going to be on ribbon, so links are down below. Before we close this, I just need to take a quick second to thank your guides, my guides, and our spiritual teams for helping me channel today's messages and for keeping me safe while doing so. I gotta thank you for all of your support, group 2. Thank you so much for supporting me on YouTube. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed your reading today, and be sure to subscribe so that you stay in the loop for whenever I make a new reading. Please look after your beautiful self, sweets, and I shall see you in another video. Bye! Hi group 3 and welcome. If you guys chose the red tiger's eye crystal, then this is going to be your reading. Red tiger's eye crystal is very intriguing. It's a very pushy energy that balances feminine and masculine energy in order to achieve. So I don't know if that has any bearing, or we'll see how it translates, but I do have a major jam-packed reading for you today. Why did I exhale already? We haven't even gotten into it. We've got a lot to cover. We're going to be asking for a lot of information about your future spouse. There will also be an extended reading. There's gonna be a lot of information. Let me get right into it. Let me stop lily-dallying. Is that a word? Lily-dallying? Lily-dallying? I don't know. I've never used that word in my life, so let's not start now. All right, first thing we're going to ask Spirit is your future spouse a new person or a past person? The main reason I'm asking this is because I know that many of us in the spiritual community are in very complicated relationships with those around us. So I'm going to say straight off the cuff whether you know this person already. We're going to look at how you'll recognize them as well, and then that will help you decide whether you want to continue with this reading or not. It's up to you, but I thought we'd get that messy one out of the way first. So group 3, please, Spirit. Red tiger's eye, their future spouse. Are they a new person or somebody from their past? We have the Hanged Man reversed. Interesting. We also have the Hierophant or the Hierophant. Let me know what you say. I asked people this recently and nobody really got back to me. Do you say Hierophant or Hierophant? Hierophant, I think, is like the appropriate way of saying it, but we don't say hieroglyphics. Interesting. Anyway, weird tangent. Is their future spouse a new person or a past person? Please, Spirit, can you tune me into group 3's energy? Is this a new person or a past person? We have Judgment here. I had my eyes closed just like this lady. Wow. Interesting. I want to get at least 2 more cards. Is this a new person or a past person for group 3? We have the Lovers! Look at everybody with their eyes closed. Stop it. What's going on here? What's going on? 1 more card, please, Spirit. Is this a new person or a past person? We have Justice, and this person has their eyes wide open. Wow. Justice. A lot of air energy here, okay? A little bit of Taurus, a little bit of Pisces. Actually, shut my mouth and call me Ralph. All of these cards are major arcana. How did I not realize this? Ace of Swords is your bottom deck energy. Wowzers. This is a significant person. I got to address this tiny 5% of you who are in happy, successful relationships and just watch these readings to support fellow readers. So I feel like for those of you, like you've met your future spouse, like that person is undeniably the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. But for others of you, this person's going to be hard to miss, sweet pea. And for many of you, this feels like a new person, mostly because there's no residual energy here. Their relationship comes into your life at a time when you're reinventing yourself and when you have room for them. You have more than enough room for this person to come in, and vice versa. It feels very much like a Sam Smith song. Now I've got you in my space. I won't let go of you, lover. Literally, that's what it feels like. Is that Disclosure, Sam Smith? What's it called? Lover? No. I'm latching onto you. It's literally called Latch, isn't it? 100%. Once the 2 of you connect, it's like, oh, I need you here forever. So, wow, beautiful. If that's not hitting as someone that you have in your life currently, then they're definitely a new person, sweets. I'm not seeing any past here. The Hanged Man reverse does indicate like something like being connected energetically, but not connected in marriage or relationship, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if there's instant recognition with this person. For all of these major arcana cards, you'll know who they are. They're going to be hard to miss. They'll feel like that puzzle piece that you didn't even know you were missing, and it was actually under your couch that whole time. You're like, oh my gosh, come on. 2 peas in a pod is what I'm getting. Like very similar, kindred spirits. Everyone will see it about you. You're going to have that vibe. You're going to have that vibration. People are going to be like, oh, you guys are soulmates, aren't you? Of course you are. It's hard to dismiss it. Look at your eyes. Look at how happy you make each other. So it definitely feels like this person is not in your life currently. If you're here, or if you're here to support me and other readers here and you're just curious, then yes, you found your person and you're already married to them for that small percentage of you. Now, with a relationship like this, I would say that yes, marriage is in the cards, literally, justice is here, but I would say that it's not essential. So for those of you where marriage is not something that you're fully impressed by, or maybe it's not allowed in your country because of certain reasons, then I see that you're just going to be very, very committed to one another, and it's more about honoring your relationship rather than the tradition of needing to prove your relationship, if that makes sense. That's what I'm getting here. I also feel that for you, group 3, you just have this beautiful ability to transform how others see love. Your love makes other people go, oh, that's so beautiful. That's so lovely. Oh, there's something so warm about that. The 2 of you were just made for each other, weren't you? Like that's literally what other people are going to, unless they feel jealous, which could happen, but we're not going to focus on jealousy in this reading. So how will you recognize this person? How won't you recognize them? Group 3, how will they recognize this person's spirit? What can you tell them about this person? We've already kind of talked about this, but we'll get more messages anyway. How will group 3 recognize their future spouse? Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got too many cards. big 3 energy. Gemini, 3rd house, big 3 energy, big 3. Mostly communication, not like Empress, but like the 3rd house, big energy. Interesting. You'll recognize this person because they will be exactly what you're looking for. Like no tea, no cap. This is probably a better word, no cap. This is literally somebody that you've always been looking for. And it feels like you've been very patient. Like you've been out here just manifesting this person, investing in yourself, investing in what you can control, manifesting. So it's like you've sown the seeds for this relationship and they are exactly what you had expected. Almost to the point where you're like, holy heck. And I see that your relationship is something that grows. Like this person's a healthy addition to your life. It's not challenging. It flows very well. It feels like there's somebody that, you know, things just get better and brighter. Not more complicated and chaotic, but better and brighter. Their addition into your life is very much like a, hey, come on, let's go. We're both moving in the same direction. What? That's so cool. Okay, let's keep moving. You have very similar expectations. You have very similar ambitions, very similar ideas about what you want for your future. And you're very much like on the same page about things. 3 of Swords reversed. You will recognize them by the way that they are available to you. It's almost like, how do I word this? My heart is on my sleeve is what I'm hearing. So this isn't someone that's going to play head games with you and make you question your feelings and their feelings and are we on the same page? It's like, no, I will show you. I will show you. I will tell you, they're saying. I will tell you. We're going to be inseparable. Oh, you're the inseparable crew. You and your future spouse are literally like joined at the hip. 2 peas in a pod. And it's not even in an unhealthy way. Like, you know how with certain relationships, you're like, okay, come on, like, can we just have her tonight, please? Can she just leave the house for tonight, please? It's like, no, actually, like, cool. They're coming as well? Yay, that's awesome. I love it when they're here. Like, everyone around you just accepts and enjoys both of you together. But I also think that the 2 of you are going to be able to have conversations about topics that inspire further growth. You're going to help each other. You're really going to help each other. You're going to help each other look forward and continue to look forward, expanding each other's minds and interests. You're going to find your interests redevelop. That's naturally what happens, but within just meeting this person, your interests are going to develop and it feels like your mind is going to expand as well. Is there anything else you can tell them about how they will recognize this person? The moon reversed. Yeah, you're going to feel a pull towards them. And there's going to be this uncomfortable desire to be open and vulnerable and honest about your feelings towards them. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I have only been talking to you for a week, but I need to tell you, like, I'm getting really strong feelings for you. I'm getting a really strong desire to tell you all my secrets. And I'm kind of afraid that you're going to spit them out back at me, but I can tell by the look in your eye that you feel the same way. And they're going to be like, yeah, I do actually. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It feels so rare. I've got to be honest with you. I don't just talk about this stuff willy-nilly. I'm a massive skeptic when it comes to this style of love. So when I feel it, I try to honor it and I try to get proof that it's real. And I think we can't get more proof than all of these major arcana cards lining up in such a way where it's reflecting this person that you've been manifesting most of your life. 5 of crystals reversed with your bottom deck energy. You will recognize them because of the way that they effortlessly add into your life. It's not a challenge. They want to be there. Their energy is already there with you. They're already a part of your life. It's going to be hard to imagine life without them. So let's have a look at how the 2 of you meet. How does group 3 meet their future spouse, Spirit? How does group 3 meet their future spouse? We have a look at the 8 of Swords, reversed as your first card. I don't know why I talked about it like that. My mind is in another realm, clearly. We have a look. I was supposed to say, let's have a look. Anyway. Group 3, we also have the Page of Cups. Interesting. How does group 3 meet their future spouse? How does group 3 meet? Oh no, it's on the ground. This happens every time. And none of them flipped over. You know what? Give me a quick second. Okay, group 3. I ended up shuffling those cards back into the deck because none of them flipped over. So group 3, please Spirit, how do they meet their future spouse? Hello. You again. We have Temperance coming out. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. When will they meet their future spouse? For those who haven't, because I think some of you have. When will they meet their future spouse? We have the Queen of Wands coming out in the upright. Can I get a confirmation on timing? When will they meet their future spouse? I closed my eyes so I wasn't cheating. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. Sooner than you think, but it has to do with being in the right place at the right time. So I'm going to say weeks to months. But the thing about this timeline is that you're not really focused on it when they come in, you know? Even though this is happening relatively quickly in terms of weeks, you're not really focused on it. So take the timeline with a grain of salt. It's a general reading, but I'm hearing that you wasn't looking for love. Eliza. Beautiful song. What signs can group 3 expect when this person comes into their life? What are the signs? What are the significant indicators that they've met their future spouse or they're going to meet their future spouse? We have the Four of Swords, a change of comfort zone. Interesting. Leaving the nest. Oh my days, look at these cards. We have the Eight of Wands in the upright position. Holy heck, we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse position as well. Bottom deck energy for now is the Knight of Wands. Beautiful. So listen, when it comes to meeting your future spouse, over here, I can see that you'll meet them in a situation where been there, done that again. Why? Why do they feel like that? It's like a familiarity, and yet like you're out of your comfort zone here. You're needing to balance your energy. You're needing to be careful. You're investing, but you're tentative about putting too much in. You're at a time in your life where you seem to be focused on your career and financial security, but it's more that you're just redefining your worth. So this could be coming off the wing of like having a few losses in your life, whether that's like relationship losses or financial losses. You feel like you have a lot to prove to yourself is when you meet this person. And it's like you're taking this sort of playful energy towards life where you're trying not to take things too seriously. You're literally just trying to go with the flow, but it also feels like you're open to meeting people at the time that you meet this person. Maybe it's because you're meeting a lot of people. You could have started a new job, for example, but it just feels like while you're expecting to meet a lot of new people, you're not really like out here like expecting to meet the love of your life. Let's just say that. You're more just like, I'm open to meeting new people. I'm balancing out my energy. I'm focusing on like reprioritizing my energy, my life. And I'm just really trying to get out of my head about the darkness, because I do think that you're coming out of a dark cycle of your life and really just trying to stay optimistic when this person comes into your life. You're just trying to stay optimistic. You're like, you know what? I've had enough sadness, or I've had enough losses. I've taken too many L's. It's time to focus on some happiness. It's time to focus on some optimism and staying open to meeting the right person. And the way that this translates is you do meet this person because of your energy, 100%. The Queen of Wands for me is weeks. But the Queen of Wands especially is like, it's all you. You've manifested this person into your life, and you've done it not out of a need, but rather out of like, I want it and I'm in alignment with it so I can have it. I feel like this comes after you recognize your availability or your worth, and it feels very empowering for you. It feels like it happens at a time when you're really being recognized, and when a lot of people in your life are seeing you for this new person, like this spark. You feel like you have a lot to prove to yourself and to people that you love and care about, especially family. But it's more like doing this for yourself and meeting this person for yourself. And I think that the signs to look out for is that your life is going to be pushing you away from what you know and what you're comfortable in. And you're coming out of a period of rest or inaction where things have gotten a bit slow for you. And maybe you were just healing from your previous breakup or your last experience in life. And it feels like you're not really out here wanting to kind of put your heart out there again, but you are wanting excitement again. You are trying to stay open and get more energy in. So it could involve travel as well. You've traveled to a new place. Your energy is out here seeking new energy. And you could even be putting yourself out there on like social media again. Maybe you meet this person online, but I don't think so. I think that you meet in person and it happens in a way where your guards are down and you're in an environment where you're having to reassess your boundaries anyway, and you're having to stay open to new expectations. So it makes me think that there's a lot going on in your life, and this person kind of slips in with those new things. You don't really realize at the time, like, oh, you're a big deal, aren't you? You kind of just snuck in there, but you're actually a big deal. That's so cute. Let's move forward. We got some serious questions to ask now. What blockages may you be experiencing and your person be experiencing that could be keeping you apart right now? What blockages? Let us see. What blockages is group 3? What blockages are group 3 experiencing that could be keeping them from their future spouse? What blockages is group 3 experiencing that may be keeping them from their future spouse? We have detach. I did feel that. Some of you guys may be in other commitments, other relationships that have not run their course yet. You're definitely learning how to let go of things that are no longer helpful for you, to say the least. Like learning when to choose yourself and peace for yourself. Like, you know what? I need to move forward for me. It's time. Seeing that light at the end of the tunnel and appreciating the new opportunities that are in front of you. So for your side, it's about detaching from the wrong kinds of partnerships or the wrong kinds of attachments or just things that are not exactly helpful to your character development. Let's say that to put it the least. The blockage here is putting yourself in the right contractual agreement when it comes to love. And I do think that with hopelessness and helplessness reversed, it is also about staying open-minded and being optimistic about your love life is a blockage. Let's have a look at what your person's blockages may be as well. What is group 3's person's blockages when meeting group 3? We have seek the truth, denial, okay. What else is their blockages? Group 3's person. We have the 7 again. 2 7s reversed. How intriguing. Don't feel like you're the only one, okay? This person's also given up on love. This person's also like, I've been down this road too many times before. Like, so much so that like my feet are starting to leave impressions in the bitumen. People can tell exactly where I've walked. Your person is like sick and tired of having to do the same old thing. I'm honestly getting exhausted feeling their blockages. They're like, I've just stopped looking. This person's just like, honestly, my blockage is that I've just stopped looking. Like, I'm just not focused on those things. I'm just out here trying to focus on other things because this is not giving me the results that I was expecting. I feel like your person was the kind of person who was like a bit of a hopeless romantic, maybe. Like someone who may have like had really high expectations when it comes to love and really wanted this like high school sort of thing, and then high school came and went and they were like, oh, it didn't meet my soulmate, damn. Gosh, where do we go to from here? So it feels like this person's just kind of not a big blockage for them, which isn't even a blockage, to be honest with you. Like the two of you meet each other when you're meant to. If I'm honest, you're not really blocked in the way that some of the other groups were. You are just not looking for each other, needing to focus on being optimistic on your side and getting out of things that are holding you back. And this person is just like straight up not looking. They're like, I'm blind when it comes to love. I don't see it. I'm not here for it. I'm just at the post office to pay my bills, sir. I will not give you my phone number. Oh, it's crazy. It's so funny though, because like it's just an incredible concoction of a plan from above. Oh, the heavens will rejoice when the two of you come into union. It's so interesting tapping into this. Anyway, let's have a look at what challenges you may experience in your connection. What challenges may group 3 experience in their connection? Hello, this fell straight onto my chest. We have the well-deserved reward reversed, number 9, the 9 of Pentacles, no less. What is a challenge that group 3 may experience? Just slipping out. We have heal, the number 17. Interesting. What is a challenge that group 3 may experience in their connection with their future spouse? Thank you so much. We have control over here in the reverse position. Why did that give me goosebumps? Chills, literal chills. All right, your bottom deck energy, group 3, is the 3 of Cups. How is this a challenge? How is the 3 of Cups a challenge? Oh, yeah. You guys are definitely soulmates. The 3 of Cups for you is a challenge. It's not third-party interference, by the way. Can I eliminate that? Because I know a lot of you know the 3 of Cups from other tarot readings. It's more about being friends. If being friends is an interference in your connection. You and your future spouse love each other so much that you literally are each other's yes person. And I think that at times you also need to be critical towards each other, because that is what is going to help your relationship grow. It's not about being critical to the point where you're judging the other person. Lover's card again, bless. You are definitely a fated union. But you do need to call each other out when things become imbalanced and when things do get tough. You need to be able to accept judgment and criticism from each other, because you know each other better than anybody else on this earth. So a big challenge here is actually putting that beautiful friendship and love aside and being like, you know what, actually I need to have a serious yarn with you, because you need to start acting like the boss-ass person that you are. You need to start recognizing what you are capable of and how you are low-key sabotaging your own abilities right now. I feel like you and your future spouse will know each other better than anybody else on this earth, and yet a blockage is actually making room for each other's achievements, ironically. It's a kind of like you're both kind of ascending, but you need to make room for that growth. You need to make room for that healing. You need to make room for that serious conversations. You need to appreciate that it's not going to sabotage your connection by being this honest. It's actually going to strengthen it, and it's going to allow more room in your relationship to value everything. Like, it's going to strengthen it by highlighting the little things that need to be worked on, while also praising the things that are working well. Like, hey, I actually love how we complement each other. But, and it's a little but, I'm just noticing that one of us is always up earlier than the other person, and instead of spending time in the lounge room where it's peaceful and quiet, they stay in the bedroom and they play music really loud, and I'm still sleeping, and it's you. You're the loud person, and I'm not a morning person. Like, just have these conversations. It's so silly, and I feel like you know each other so well, you can't even be mad at each other. Like, it's just gonna make you laugh. Like I can't even finish that sentence without laughing, but it just needs to be said, because nobody else is going to tear you down in good faith of compassion and genuinely wanting you to do well. So you really need to be there for each other in that way. Helpful criticism. Anyway, aside from that, the other thing that may challenge your relationship is this desire to be in control. And I think that it's more like a power control dynamic. It's making me think of like those couples that like bicker, and it's like, I just need to be right. I need to prove them right. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I need to prove them wrong so I can be right. Coming down to the crux of it all, do you have to? Is that really the best way to show affection? It's a challenge because it can get out of hand sometimes. It's playful banter, and then all of a sudden it isn't, and somebody's feelings get hurt every now and then. So just be careful with that. It's like bungee jump. No, it's not, tightrope walking. You know, you're just a little bit too close to the edge. You've only got a little bit to walk on. Just be careful. You don't want to place a foot out of line and accidentally fall off. So that bickering, that nitpicking, just be careful there. Those are the main challenges that I'm seeing. We're getting through this really quickly because I feel like your relationship is just a breeze, honestly. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous. And I think that these aren't really genuine challenges. It's more that they need to be kept private within the relationship and not exaggerated in the sense of like, you need to communicate with each other, please. You both have this denial ability. So in order to see the truth for what it is in the relationship, just keep that beautiful communication going. All right. Let's have a look at what this person's hobbies, passions, and interests will be as well. Oh, group 3. This is so cute. What is group 3's future spouse's hobbies and passions? What is their future spouse interested in? Oh, hello. Oh, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. So cute. Beautiful. We also have the student coming out. I just saw drunkenness, partying, building a foundation, planning for the future, drunkenness, partying, apprenticeship, interested in learning, applying knowledge, drunkenness, partying. Oh, they definitely like alcohol. We also have Doomsdayer coming out. I think they're just a bit of a socialite though. They just like socializing. They have this side to them that's like likes to kind of be in the scene, if that makes sense. We also have Caretaker, bless. So yeah, it's going to develop. When they're younger, it feels like it'll be more of like a party scene, okay? But as they get older, they're going to just want to spend time with like genuine people. So it will develop. They won't always be this party animal, but you definitely seem to come into their life when they're building a strong foundation and they're in that energy of like work hard, play hard. Work hard, play hard energy. Like we're out here. Bottom deck energy for you is grown up. So that's hopeful. That's good. Okay. So they're very interested in being a calm, grounded, pedagogical, thoughtful, responsible, understanding healer. Don't we love that? Listen, this person is actually a very caring soul, and they are someone who does well in healing people. They seem to be someone who could have a public platform in life. They're going to inspire a lot of people, okay? They're going to inspire a lot of people. I do think that when it comes to their interests, they are a lover at heart, 100% romancer. They put a lot of thought into your relationship, okay? They really enjoy like dates and just like romantic little gestures. They're 100%. And I will be doing a part 2 to this series, and the part 2 will be looking at your future spouse's love language. So are they going to be someone who will definitely fall into like that idea of gifting? What is that, exchanging gifts as their love language? I do think that this is a lover, and they're not afraid to show their affection towards you in front of like their friends, their mates. They're going to be like, yeah, that's my person. Like, that's my partner. Of course. Like, what do you expect? Of course they're going to be with me. And I think that that's something that they stand so firm in, that the people around them are like, oh yeah, of course they will. Yeah, 100% they will. Why wouldn't they be? I see that this person's interests are very much in expanding. And even though they are a bit of a dreamer, they are someone who has goals to ground their dreams. They are someone who's very caring and kind, and I think that it's at a fault sometimes. They seem to become invested at times in other people's success, and they have the tendency to not really put in a lot of effort towards their own success. Let's just say that. They have a pessimistic side to them, which they are trying to constantly overcome. And it could come from comparing themselves to others, or it could just come from them not living up to their own expectations of themselves. I feel like this is someone who would have a high amount of expectations, but they are definitely a lover. In fact, they're very much someone who gets like stuck in thoughts of like sex and things as well. And I think that they would tell you about that. Surely. They might not articulate how often it happens because I feel like it happens quite a lot, group 3. But this is definitely somebody that has sexual fantasies, and it's almost to the point where it's become a hobby. Like, just fantasizing in my spare time. It's my hobby. It makes me think that there's just going to be a lot of interest in you and in the relationship as well. Like, their hobbies and interests will definitely grow and change as they grow and change, but they're very much here for you and for your relationship and for the family that you choose to have, if you choose to have one. I do see kids being an option. I see that for some of you, you're not going to take that option, but for others of you who want it, I do see that being something that you both try for and that you both want. Is there anything else they need to know about this person's passions and hobbies? Narcissist, charming, enchanting, leader, patronizing, disregarding, arrogant, bullying, ego-driven, low self-esteem, frightened, and waiting man. I definitely think that this person's personality gets overshadowed by other people. I don't think that they're necessarily narcissists that overshadowed this person. I don't know how common it is to have a narcissist around, but I do feel like this person is overshadowed by bigger personalities. And if they're in an environment where it's very competitive and where those sorts of personalities get more attention, they may come across as narcissistic, as someone who's a bit patronizing or arrogant or ego driven because they're used to hanging around people who are like that. It kind of makes me think of my brother, only because he was in the Navy for a while, and there are a lot of people like that in the Navy. They don't mean to be narcissistic, but there's this sort of patronizing, bullying energy, and when you're around that all the time, you kind of forget to turn it off. And he was never really like that, but there would be times when he'd be hanging out with them and you'd be like, you were with them, weren't you? Because you could just feel that shift in his personality a little bit. That's what it's making me think of. It's not really a hobby or an interest or a passion, but it's a part of their personality. They could have a Gemini moon or a Gemini ascending or Gemini sun. It could be somewhere very impactful. Third house is very impactful here. They have this reflective ability of like reflecting their personality based on the energy around them at times. Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily make them like mutable. It's more that they react based on their environment, right? Who they are at their core never changes, but their reaction to the situation changes based on how the situation changes, if that makes sense. So let's move forward. We're going to get advice now from their higher self, from their guides, actually, not their higher self. We're going to get advice from their guides. Okay, Spirit. Group 3, can we please get some advice from Group 3's future spouse's higher self? Some advice from Group 3's future spouse's higher self. We have the gallery of those who came before. This is the number 24. 24, interesting. The gallery of those who came before. We also have visions coming out for you in the reverse position. Group 3. Can we get some advice? Tune me into Group 3's energy. Can we please get some advice from their future spouse's spiritual team? What does Group 3 need to know from their future spouse's spiritual team? We have something that is never truly yours, the number 27. I'm feeling the 27 club with that. Wow. We also have cast your sacred symbols, the number 63. And your bottom deck energy, Group 3, is the Heart Eater. Wowzers, this is the number 13, just in case the numbers are significant for you. I never know, so I always like to cross my T's and dot my I's, just in case. So listen, Heart Eater as your bottom deck energy, how intriguing. I think that your future spouse's guides and spiritual team are really just... which side of the fence do you fall on? Are you the one who's in denial, not really looking for love, or are you the one that's trying to get out of a dark period in your life? Because whatever it is, they're just really trying to say that, you know, whatever happened in the past with your previous relationships, it had to happen. It had to end in order for this person to come in. You couldn't keep going with those people. They weren't going to be forever people. They were people that inspired you to look deeper when it comes to love. They were people that were supposed to remind you of the love that you have to give and how not everybody deserves that love. You're a lover, very much like this person, 100%. Different ways, completely complementary, but all of those infatuations or relationships that you've had before have led to this person, which is why this is here as well. The gallery of those who came before, everyone who you were interested in the past pales in comparison to this person. You are literally a match made in heaven. And I feel like there is a way of like, mostly the reason why this message is coming through for you is to help you stay focused on what you're currently doing, because I feel like you're taking actions to raise your vibration enough to be able to attract this person into your life, and your future spouse's guides and team just want to encourage that by reminding you like you're actually doing really well, and you had to leave those infatuations behind, you had to leave those relationships behind, you had to be inspired by their beauty or their handsomeness in order to see how much of a lover you are, and to appreciate how not everybody needs to have that. You know, not everybody deserves to have that side of you. And I feel like the person that you're imagining, the person that you're attracting, is going to be very similar to who this person is, and yet this person exceeds those expectations. There is a feeling here with your visions of not limiting what you are seeing by being a little bit open, in the sense of be careful about how specific you get when manifesting this person, because your energy is very attractive. You are going to get what you want. Focus on your optimism. Focus on, you know, detaching from the people you don't need in your life, and just let this person come to you. Don't constantly seek them with your eyes. It feels like you'll know. And I think that with this card here, the 27 Club, your future spouse's higher self just really wants you to keep doing that healing, and to know that like whatever it is that you're going through, it's something temporary, and it may be a part of you like for the rest of your life, especially if it is mental health and it's a cycle, but it doesn't mean that you don't have support. There is this feeling as though you don't have to take everything that is given to you. You can just let it slide, and this is a concept that we see in thoughts. This is why like CBT therapy is so helpful, because you reprogram the neural pathways in your mind by reminding yourself that while you can't control your thoughts, you can choose what thoughts you want to focus on, right? Sometimes you get sad thoughts. Sometimes you get thoughts that are really hopeless and helpless, and it's difficult to imagine that that's not something to take personally. But really, what this is encouraging is both to like reach out for help and to remind yourself that you don't have to take every heavy thing personally. You can pass it on and let it slide and be open to something better, you know? And I think that your future spouse's higher self is just reminding you that the right thing won't just slip through your fingers when it comes to love. The right thing won't be difficult to hold on to. The right thing will come and it will stay. It won't be something that you feel like you have to earn or that you feel like you have to work hard for, group 3. It's going to come and it's going to stay. This future spouse of yours is you're two peas in a pod. It's going to be very hard to separate you once you come together. And I see here with Cast Your Sacred Symbols reverse that your future spouse's spiritual team and their higher self at this point, their higher self is just interjecting, so let's add them in. Cast Your Sacred Symbols reversed is like just when it comes to your life in general, but especially your love life, don't feel like you're a burden with what you're going through and with what you're experiencing. And especially when it becomes really heavy, it's like you protect everyone from yourself. And I feel like it's really about staying connected for you. And it's about reminding yourself that you don't have to go through these difficult things alone. You will have a partner in crime very soon. But until then, like just do what you can to keep yourself safe. This is actually making me cry. And do stay connected with who you can in order to get through this. You're not this person who's destined to be alone forever, and you are someone who deserves support. So reach out and make sure that you stay connected. Cast your sacred symbols. Don't lose faith. Oh, group 3, I'm going to have to cut it there, otherwise I'm just going to cry. Listen, I am going to do a channeled messages portion in the extended reading. I think that for your group, we need to get some other stuff though. I want to look at how you will help each other grow. In the extended reading, I want to look at how the two of you influence and instigate growth. I also just want to like re-examine this person's personality and how you will complement each other. I gotta write this down. I don't want to forget. We're looking at growth. Sorry. We're looking at personality. We're going to get channeled messages from their higher self. And I do just want to get more advice. I've been doing that for all the groups. All the groups are different, but I do want to get advice and channeled messages for each of them. So we're looking at how you will instigate growth in each other's lives, more about this person's personality and how you will complement each other. Because you do feel like two peas in a pod, and yet you are different enough to be able to complement each other to continue to grow. We're also going to get channeled messages from their higher self and advice from your higher self as well. So the link to the extended is down below. It will be ready to watch straight after this reading. I just want to take a quick second to thank your guides, my guides, and our spiritual teams for helping me channel today's messages and for keeping me safe while doing so, most importantly. I do need to thank you for all of your support, Group 3. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like down below. Be sure to subscribe for more content. If you're feeling comfortable, you're welcome to comment. No pressure though. I appreciate you for being here, exchanging energy, letting me channel for you. Please look after your beautiful self, and I shall see you in another video. Bye! Welcome Group 4. If you guys chose the Malachite Crystal card over here, then this is going to be your reading. Now, just a little word of warning. I talked so loud for the other 3 groups, and it's taken me like 5... That's a lie. It's taken me like all day to film this reading, so I'm not going to overextend myself and keep talking so loud. I need to conserve energy. So, welcome. I feel like your Malachite energy is very interesting, to be honest. We're here because you want to know about your future spouse. And this card, I'm sure, is no coincidence. It's this feeling of like coming together through a pull more than anything. Like your sacral chakra is almost like you releasing this fear and embracing your, I'm hearing sensuality, but we'll see how that comes into play. It feels like meeting your future spouse and growing with them is very much about you embracing your feminine energy. I hope that that doesn't dissuade those of you who resonate as being more masculine. I'm literally talking about energy here, not genders. So I'm going to keep your card within eye range for me, but I've got to move it back so that we have more room for activities. We've got a lot to cover today, Group 4. We're going to be looking at quite a lot of things. I do recommend that you have a look at the description box if you need a recap. But for me personally, I am going to start with this deck by Vanessa Samina. I couldn't even say that name without getting a hiccup, by Vanessa Samina. So this is called the Gentle Heart Tarot, and I do have a discount code in the description box. If you are looking at purchasing a deck, you can get 10% off your order. Now listen, Spirit, we need to address the elephant in the room first. I apologize. I don't know why I'm getting so many interruptions. We need to address the elephant in the room first. The first question we're asking, Spirit, is your future spouse a new person? Ooh, I just got shivers. Or somebody from your past? Okay. Group 4, please, Spirit. Is their future spouse a new person or somebody from their past? Is their future spouse a new person or somebody from their past? We're being shown the 6 of Swords in the upright position. I feel like my chair is off center. There we go. Is their future spouse? We have the 2 of Cups in the reverse. Is their future spouse a new person or someone from their past? Group 4. We also have the Magician over here. And we have the Eight of Cups reversed. What's your bottom deck energy? The Nine of Diamonds reversed. Are they a new person? It feels like it. It feels like they are a new person, but you can't really embrace a beginning with them until you separate yourself from something else. So what I am saying this is that your future spouse is definitely someone that you're not in union with at the moment. There are other groups that have those kinds of messages. If you want to go back and see if you are feeling more drawn to a different group, okay? But for you, group 4, your future spouse is not someone that you're currently in union with. In fact, to get into union with them, you have to leave someone in your past. You have to step away from another relationship and maybe even do a bit of soul searching first, because it feels like your future spouse is someone that you find while you're healing. While you're healing and while you're focusing on moving forward, and this move forward could be a physical move as well, but it feels like you're coming back into who you are, and you're being very selective about who those people around you, who you let be a part of that process with you. Like, you're very selective. So your future spouse is definitely a new person. This is someone you haven't had a relationship with, and it feels like in order to get to that point, you have to leave something behind. Now, the Eight of Cups reversed and the Two of Cups reversed is telling me that you may know this person already, but you have not been in a relationship with them, okay? I need to tell you that because you're focusing on healing. There's something very new about this connection with them, but these two cards here, these two cup cards, are tying into familiar feelings that you seem to already have. So we do want to look at how you can recognize them now to get more specific. How will group 4 recognize their future spouse, Spirit? We have the Nine of Crystals, okay. I'm hearing there's someone that puts you on edge. We have the Queen of Diamonds reversed. Yeah, they challenge you, they trigger you. You feel a bit insecure around them. You have guards up around them. You feel a bit anxious around them. Why? How will they recognize their future spouse? This is someone who comes across as like a very carefree spirit, in the sense of they just do what they want. Oh. Sorry, I have a soft spot for carefree spirits. But at the same time, they are someone who doesn't like to make mistakes, apparently. You'll recognize this person because when the two of you cross paths, big change happens in your life. Big change. This person instigates change. And I feel like for some of you, they may come and go because of that. Like, they're not someone you're in a relationship with yet, but when they do cross paths with you, it is to instigate change, and it is to help things turn over, because it feels like you have the tendency to get stuck in places that you shouldn't be. And you accidentally put all your eggs in one basket, Spirit's saying, to the point where you disregard other opportunity and the possibility of flourishing in other ways. Stay open. That's why this person will constantly pop up. How will they recognize this person's spirit? Okay, you need to know that this person is very attractive, but they're not your typical type when it comes to their beauty. With the Queen of Diamonds reversed, they are beautiful or handsome in certain standards, but not typical standards based on where you live. They're attractive, but not conventional. And there is a feeling about them having like a paternal side, or just like a really nurturing side. But it also feels like they put you on edge. Like you feel nervous around them, or you just have a guard up around them. We also have the King of Diamonds now. So the King and the Queen, you're very similar. You're very similar. You make each other nervous. Oh Lord, your future spouse is someone who's very similar to you. I feel like right person, wrong time. Hey, I've got to be honest. That's what I'm seeing here. Two of the same suit, and what's missing is a leap of faith and the right timing. Right person, wrong time. Wow, Spirit. See, these kinds of people really stand out because there is a feeling like under a different setting or in a different timeline, the two of you would have really gelled well. And it's not to say that it's not going to happen, because this is your future spouse, sweets. But it does mean that they're going to stand out. You're going to recognize them because there will be a pull towards them. And yet, for whatever reason, the universe seems to pull you apart. You've physically pulled apart. So it's very interesting. I do want to know how you'll meet them as well, but I want to see if I can clarify anything else here. Is there anything else I've missed here, Spirit? How will they recognize them? You may find it hard to keep up with your person's actions. Either they're unpredictable or they're a bit of a runner. Their energy is withdrawn. It feels like in general there are big walls up here between the two of you, and that this connection is energetically demanding. It takes a lot of energy from you. Very defensive, both of you. Very defensive. It's a little bit frustrating to read for, but I want to know like how you meet. And we're going to also ask when, as well as the signs. We have got a lot to cover, so I do need to kind of keep it moving. But that's what I'm seeing in terms of whether this is a new person or a past person and how you will recognize them. Okay, they really challenge your energy. I want to say that if you're a creative person, this is the kind of person who like comes into your life, inspires you to make art, and then leaves. And you're like, oh, great, now I have to listen to this album of of music about this person, or I have to look at that painting that I did for them. They're like your muse, and vice versa. To be honest with you, you muse each other. All right. Let's keep going forward. What's our bottom deck energy? Queen of Cups, reversed. Oh, how will you recognize them? They're the one holding all their feelings to themselves, keeping all their secrets. They feel cold. The more you see them, the colder they feel, Spirit's saying. Very intuitive person, though. Maybe psychic. I don't know. Someone here is very intuitive. To be honest with you, you're so similar. I wouldn't doubt it if you both have the ability. You probably both know the same thing, but you're just not choosing to... or you're both not choosing to feed into that. Goodness. We're going to be doing many series, okay? Like this is just part 1 to the future spouse series, like my soulmate series that I did last year. Or was that this year? It might have been this year. So we're going to cover a lot of different questions and topics, but for now I do have to keep moving, okay? How do you meet your future spouse? Spirit, how do they meet their future spouse? How does group 4 meet their future spouse? We have the 5 of Cups reversed coming out for you. Wow. How does group 4 meet the future spouse? We also have the 4 of Cups reversed. They're showing me the 9 of Cups. Thank gosh that's upright. How does group 4 meet their future spouse? We have the Death card reversed. And we have the 6 of Wands reversed as well. Lady, now that I found you, I can let you go. Build my world around you, even though, maybe even though you don't need me. Interesting. Why did that song come out? 5 of Wands. Oh gosh, you meet in a very competitive energy. That's why. There's a lot of focus on one of you. I've got to be cut here because this is a general reading. I'm not too sure which side of the spectrum you fall on, but one of you is getting a lot of attention and the other one feels like they have to compete for your attention. One of you feels like the showstopper, and the other one feels like they have to like hail you out of the crowd and be like, hey, I'm here, see me, please notice me. It's so interesting. You meet this person under circumstances where feelings have to be pushed aside, and yet you also feel rushed to take advantage of this opportunity with them. I want to say that you might be out and about trying to forget your sadness, because it feels like you're going through something and you're just pretending like it's not a big deal. Like, it's okay. Like, I just broke up with my long-term partner. It's fine. I just failed my 4-year degree, but it's fine. You know, like you're you're trying to suppress sadness when you meet this person. And it feels like that sadness leads you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. You're trying to make the most out of the opportunity to not go home alone, to not be bored, to not be sad, to not be down. You're trying your best to elevate your emotions and to just feel better in that moment, to take advantage of this opportunity to be self-serving when it comes to your emotions. And honestly, I don't know if it leaves a very good impression on this person, because it's not that you come across as desperate. I just want to get that word out of the way, because I know that a lot of you guys read between the lines, and I'm not getting desperation. I'm getting more like distracted, not really present, withdrawn, emotionally unavailable. That's what I'm getting from you. And this person picks up on that. They feel that you've got loose ends to tie up, and they also feel like the timing with your situation is just not right. Like you're just focused on other things. And I don't think this is necessarily a fair judgment, because it's like the kettle calling the teapot black. Like your person is also out here distracted and focused on other things, and their energy seems to be very much focused on either you, who's getting all the attention, or focused on themselves, who's getting all the attention. Bottom deck energy is the Ace of Wands, so it's a passionate meeting, to be honest with you. There's a spark between the two of you. There's an instant feeling of like chemistry and attraction, and there's a curiosity within the two of you as well. Like you're both conversating and wanting to get to know each other, but there feels like an emotional barrier, because the circumstances make you feel very happy, but you're there for different reasons. One of you is really trying to distract themselves by projecting happiness and really trying to take advantage of this moment without really thinking ahead. And the other one is using this moment to build confidence and to raise the way that they see themselves. One person is seeking external validation, and the other one is just seeking distractions. So you're both not really there. You know, like your emotions aren't really there. So when will you meet this person, Spirit? If you haven't met this person yet, because I think that for some of you, you already have met this person. And if that situation resonates, then you know you've already met them. But I'd want to check for those of you who haven't. When will group 4 meet their future spouse, Spirit? We have the Tower, so I'm hearing imminently. Okay, the Tower is Mars-based energy. It's very fast, it's very sudden, it's very quick. So many of you already have this person a part of your life, and you're in separation from them. You haven't met the new version of them who they're currently working on. They're going to come across as very different the next time you see them. Very confident, very able, very action-orientated, very powerful. They've leveled up. But for those of you who haven't met this person, you've stumbled upon this reading because you are about to meet them very, very, very soon. Can I get another card to confirm timing, please, Spirit? For group 4, when will they meet their future spouse? The Ten of Swords reversed. Yeah, it will happen very quickly. Very quickly. You don't have to wait very long at all, okay? This is going to happen very fast. What signs can group 4 look out for, Spirit? We have the King of Pentacles reversed, a change of job or a change of money in terms of status, change of circumstances. I would say job more than anything, but it does impact your lifestyle as well. Two of Cups reversed, separation, room in your life. You'll notice your life start to become a bit dull, to say the least, because you've lacked that ability to connect with those around you. You disconnect from people who no longer emotionally fulfill you, and it kind of feels like you've just got this space missing now. Like, isn't somebody supposed to be here? Isn't there supposed to be a cozy person here to kind of occupy this emptiness? That's what it feels like. A change of job, and you kind of feel like there's someone missing from your life. You feel like there should be someone there with you. What are signs here? You could recently have separated from a partner as well. Breakup, gone through a breakup when you meet this person. Yeah, tying up loose ends, needing to distract yourself. It's not even a serious breakup for some of you. It's just somebody that you've been seeing on the side. We also have the World. So there's a sense of achievement here. Could be graduation, looking for a job, trying to find work because you've recently leveled up and you're just on this new cycle now. You're in the spotlight a little bit. Like people are like, wow, look what you've done. Congratulations, you're amazing. Group 4, we're so proud of you. We knew you could do it. Yeah. People might be celebrating you when you meet. It's very interesting. You've just come out of a difficult cycle. You've had to leave people behind with the old cycle, and you don't really know what lies ahead, but you know that you want to be successful, preferably your own boss. So you're just powering forward, unsure of where the road will take you, but celebrating the opportunities that you have in front of you, because you are celebrating yourself. You're celebrating where you're at in life. Yeah, you're not exactly where you want to be. You're not feeling 100% confident. You're not feeling like you're the go-getter achiever that you usually are, that you usually embody, but you're trying your best to be that person, if that makes sense. We also have the Page of Wands here in the reverse position. So it feels like what to look out for in terms of meeting this person is you're about to embark on a new journey, but you don't really know what lies ahead in the road. You're just trying to take advantage of your opportunities. You're very curious. You feel unexperienced in certain ways, but where you lack practical experience, you've gained sort of theoretical knowledge, and you're just feeling like confident, but not entirely secure because you're just in a period of growth. Like this isn't you plateauing. You want new opportunities. You want to level up. You're looking for more signs of growth and achievement and status. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's very intriguing. It's leaving me with more questions than answers. So it's going to be a very interesting extended reading, I think. I've got to keep moving forward, sadly, because I have to make best use of the time in this reading. But we're going to look at the blockages and challenges now. So the way that this will work is I'm going to look at both sides of you in terms of you and your future spouse to see what may be standing in your way in terms of coming into union with one another. So starting with you, oh, I just got shivers down my spine. Something about your energy unsettles me. I don't know if it's because like I know you personally or oh, it's not a bad thing. Look what's hiding in here. The 9 of Wands. Let your guard down, please. You're so rigid and it's rubbing off on me. I feel like, listen, I don't mean to judge you, but there is a judgmental energy coming from this pile. And I think that it's the way that you project your fears onto your future spouse initially. There is a feeling of triggering one another and forcing this sort of separation, which allows you to then kind of come back. But well, I want to talk about that more in the extended. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time. So blockages, please, Spirit. Can we look at what blockages may be standing in their way from connecting with their future spouse? What blockages may be standing in Group 4's way? Balance, temperance, inner union, seeing eye to eye. Allowing yourself to... What's the best way of describing this? Allowing yourself to feel. That's how I could describe it. There's a part of you that feels like it's locked up. It's not allowed out. It can't be because you have other things to focus on. You've got bigger fish to fry. You can't afford to get in your feels. You don't want to catch feelings. You need to catch checks. Isn't that the word? Is it I'm cashing checks, not feelings? I don't want to catch feelings. I want to cash checks. I don't know. I'm beyond that now. So it feels like with your energy, there is a feeling of allowing certain things into your life, and something about this person creates fear and just mostly like nervousness, like a lot of nervousness, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it's at all your fault, sweets. Like, it's just a natural reaction to things that are very intense, and this connection is very intense. You felt that pull as soon as you met them. It was a spark that you couldn't deny, and I think that instead of handling it in a way where you wanted to explore it and sort of delve into it, it just kind of made you afraid of what would happen if it didn't work out. Like, where does all that energy go? Where does all of that go? What are people going to think? Especially because it feels very competitive when you met them. Anyway, let's keep getting more. I want to get at least one more card for you, and then we'll get messages about their blockages. What else is blocking this person from coming into union with their future spouse? What else is blocking group 4 from coming into union with their future spouse? Control. You need to let go. In terms of, let go of the wrong things and hold on to the right things. I don't mean to judge you, okay? I need to keep saying that because I know that some of these words are going to be very triggering for some of you, and this is just messages that I'm feeling and hearing and seeing. I need to say them, but there's no judgment behind these words on my side. Listen, you have this desire to want to pretend to go with the flow by actively pushing your focus away from things that need your attention. That's not going with the flow, that's denial and distraction. You need to confront these things that you're afraid of. And it's not just about this relationship. This relationship is just a way of manifesting those blockages for you to work on them. If you ignore the relationship, those blockages show up in other areas of your life. They will show up in those careers that you want. They will show up in those other relationships that you want to work on. They will show up in many other areas of your life. This person should not be this uncomfortable elephant in the room that you never talk about. It should be an opportunity for you to work on the things that are actually standing in your way towards your success and towards you gaining the, I'm hearing courage, but more so just like success that you deserve. Like it takes courage to do these things. It isn't easy, but you are rewarded when you're right. And in this case, your heart is on the money, but you've convinced yourself that you were wrong. And it does feel like for many of you, this isn't about calling you out and making you feel bad, but this is more of a warning because like I said, this will manifest in other areas of your life. And I think that the thing about like love is that you always have a choice, right? This is your future spouse for a reason. They stand out of the crowd for a reason. They're not just someone who's supposed to be a burden. They're not just someone who's supposed to point out everything wrong with you. They have a meaning and a purpose for being in your life. They're going to contribute to your life, which we will find out in the extended, as well as future videos on YouTube. But I think that their symbolism and you kind of gaining the courage to be open and take notice of them is more about you like taking back the power to be in control of your life again and choosing not to ignore the big things that are calling for your attention, choosing not to be so blasé and laid back. You think you're going with the flow, but you're actually deflecting and distracting yourself from the truth. You're actually lacking the courage to face the truth. And again, no judgment. That's just something that's coming through in terms of your blockages, what's standing in the way of you having this happy future with this person. Let's have a look at their blockages now. Don't worry, it's going to go on the other side as well. It's not just one person. It takes two to tango. That really hurt my throat to say. So I think one of their blockages is communication, but we'll see. Group 4, please, Spirit. What is their future spouse's blockages? What is stopping their future spouse from coming together with group 4? What is blocking them? What is blocking group? It feels like this person either has a comfort zone that they get very stuck in. They don't like to take risks outside of that comfort zone. They don't like to be the instigator. They don't like to leap from their little safety net. They like to be very comfortable and they like opportunity to come their way. And they maybe just don't like their peace to be disturbed as well. They like things to kind of flow when it comes to love in a specific way, and they expect things to happen in a specific way. Now, the other thing that's coming through with this card is that they could fall on the other side of the fence where they're a bit too kind of outgoing and not really focused on settling down right now. A blockage is they don't really have the desire to settle down and to kind of want to settle in with a partner. They seem to be out here blazing sort of trails and bringing energy in and not really wanting to stabilize it. A little bit chaotic, to be honest with you. So it's either or, it's not both, okay? It's either or. Either they're in that comfort zone or they're really out of it and not really wanting to settle down. So let's get one more card as well. What is their future spouse's blockages holding them back from coming into union with group 4, Spirit? Interesting. We have the World card reversed. It's their time, apparently, to to celebrate, to take advantage of something. They have to achieve something first. They have to do something first. This person could just be very focused on their material world more than their desire for romance. But I do see the world reversed as just them needing to wrap up old cycles. Your person could be going through karmic cycles right now. They could be distracted by other things. I am hearing that a lot of this has to do with your energy too, though. Like, this person reacts to your energy. Whether they're conscious of it or not, whether you're in communication or not, what you say is what they'll reflect. So if you're out here, really just not wanting to put anything into this and struggling to really see a future in this, then they're very much reflecting that back to you as well. The blockages are reflections of each other's behavior. And this person, I do feel like they could settle down into this comfortable energy of wanting like a stability. But if they don't feel that, then they're not going to want that. Is what I feel. It's very interesting. I'm sorry. I wanted to read them to filth as well, but Spirit's saying that their actions are actually a reflection of your energy in this connection. You have a massive pull here. You've got a lot of power here, and you have a lot of strength to be able to push things the right way if you can confront those fears that you have. I do think, though, with Embrace Reverse, that they're definitely distracted by other things in their life. They're definitely focusing on their career or their family. If they have kids already, for example, they're definitely wanting to wrap up these loose ends in their life in general and needing to do that as well. Like, it takes up a lot of energy and effort is what I'm feeling. They've been healing as well, like those connections, those family, might maybe some trauma around their family as well, but I don't want to really delve into that. As soon as I hear the T word, I know it's going to take me like 10 minutes to explain it. So we're going to have to keep moving. I want to have a look quickly at what challenges you may experience in your relationship together. So Spirit, what challenges will group 4 experience? Oops, excuse me. Okay. Oh gosh, fireworks just started. So close too. Anyway, what was I saying? Why, as soon as I press to record again, fireworks started. Geez, that was very quick. It was just like 10 seconds. Weird. It could be illegal. Anyway, challenges. What challenges may you face in your relationship with this person? Oh, we have the 5 of Pentacles, especially when you're in separation. Spirit, why is it so difficult for these two to come together? Why is it so difficult for them? How do they actually... Listen, there's something that's going to take a lot of time, so I'm going to have to cover it in your extended, but why is it so difficult for them to come together, Spirit? Yeah, the 9 of Cups. Okay, well, what other challenges will they face in this relationship? That's a fun challenge. Who's going to be the most dominant? Who can love the hardest? You guys, honestly, when you're together, you work so well together. You're 2 sides of the same coin is what I'm being shown. So similar. It's actually very frustrating because you spend a lot of time in this connection with them, feeling lonely, wishing that you had someone who understood you, and you already do. You're just not letting them into your life. You seem confused about your feelings. You're like, why is this so difficult? Why can't I tell anybody about this? Why are these feelings so heavy? Why are they so real already? Why do they ask me, like, why are these feelings encouraging me to do something I'm not comfortable doing? It's almost like you feel selfish if you act upon your feelings. So you isolate instead and you don't tell anybody how you truly feel, and it starts to eat up inside. Someone here really goes through that, and it's horrible because it isolates you. It makes you feel less connected to yourself, let alone the people around you. It feels like this connection is something that maybe you don't want to step towards because you feel you'll be betraying somebody else. But for whatever reason, you really isolate yourself and confuse yourself even more about your feelings for this person before you come into union with them. And honestly, that is the major challenge in your relationship because it holds you back from coming together with them in the first place. Oh, there's a helicopter now. Must have been illegal fireworks. But anyway, as I was saying, it does feel like you have to be a little bit like honest with yourself in order for this relationship to start. It's a major challenge here is acknowledging how you truly feel and acting upon how you truly feel, and not being afraid to take that challenge. It's very much outside of your comfort zone, don't get me wrong, but it feels so right, and yet you've convinced yourself that it's so wrong. Now, on the other side of the spectrum here, this is a bit fun because it's not a real challenge. Once you're actually together, the challenge is who's going to lead, because you both have this desire, this masculine ability to create and to want to conquer your material world. Remember, you showed up as both being earth signs. That is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You both have this ability to want to create something in this lifetime and to want to be someone of stature is what I'm hearing. Someone very accomplished, someone who's achieved a lot. So the question here is who leads? The challenge here is who's the dominant person? Does there have to be one? Who can love the most? Who can be most open and honest? Honestly, this is just fun, like competitive energy within your connection, in the sense of you and this person just sort of competing to kind of be the top dog, the main the main breadwinner is what I'm hearing. It feels like you have this kind of relationship where it's a challenge because you kind of always want to be better than your partner, but at the same time, like, it's not a competition. It doesn't have to be a competition. You both want each other's hearts. Like, you both feel very much sentimentally attached to each other. It's not all about the money, and yet you seem to be so focused on wearing the pants. It's like you're still assuming gender roles, or you're still assuming that there has to be like one top dog in this house, and it's me. So listen, be careful with that, because you don't want to blow that out of proportion to the point where it's taking away from what truly matters, right? And what truly matters here is that you actually both are doing this out of love. You want to be the one who takes care of the other person, but it's taking away from the fact that you can still take care of the other person. It doesn't have to be a competition all the time. You don't have to always step on each other's toes when it comes to who can produce the biggest, I don't know, whatever it is that you're working towards. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a bit cute, I'm not going to lie. I like it. If that's your main challenge when you're together, it's not bad at all. The main challenge in your relationship is getting into a relationship in the first place. So moving forward, we're running out of time. Let us have a look at what your future spouse's passions, hobbies, and interests will be. What will they be into? Group 4, what will their future spouse be into when it comes to hobbies, passions, and interests? We have grown up, okay, very responsible person. We have manifestor. Wow, there you go. Someone who's very able to create with their mind. Law of attraction, good communicator. Willpower, genius. Okay, I haven't heard that word in a while. We also have clown. Okay. We have obsessiveness, a bit of Capricorn energy. We also have stay away. How is that a hobby? My hobby is I moonlight as an emotionally unavailable person. Like, what? Anyway, I can't judge because I've been there, done that. Bottom deck energy is the peacemaker. So listen, this is a very beautiful, mature person. They're quite responsible. They're giving me like older sibling vibes, or they're just someone in general who has had to take care of themselves, and they're good at doing that. They come across as a calm, grounded person, very thoughtful, very responsible, understanding. They are a healer, so they could be someone who has like a job in healing, in terms of, we could look at spirituality or medicine, right? Or this could just be that their energy comes across as very healing. They're definitely interested in some serious stuff though. So this makes me think that they like podcasts. This is someone that likes to kind of keep their toe in the news, you know, just likes to know what's going on. They could be someone that likes more like documentaries over vlogging, you know, like likes to watch like a little bit more serious stuff, or know more stuff with substance than just your silly stuff. Don't get it twisted though. They have a goofy side over here with the clown. They have a goofy side that not a lot of people see. They're this immature, weird side to them that is very misunderstood. It makes me think that they have like really weird interests. So for me personally, like, how would I give you an example? This is making me think of a conversation I had with the manager at my gym the other day, and she found out that what I do for a living. And the look she gave me, like, it was like a what? And she had never ever heard of tarot. So trying to explain it to her, it was just like the most bizarre experience of my life in the best way. Like, I love those sorts of situations. But that's what's making me think of this person. They have a little bit of a quirky, weird side to them that not a lot of people get to see. It's a bit goofy, it's a bit silly, and it's very misunderstood. I do think that they're very good at attracting what they want into their lives. They seem to be a keen manifester in general, someone who's out here hustling with the universe, co-creating. They also have this like need to have nice things. So massive Capricorn Taurus energy, but that could just be my way that I'm interpreting these things. I just think that in general, when they have an interest, they become very obsessive about it. Like it's difficult for anybody who knows that person to not know what they're into. I think that they're very obvious about their interests. It's something that's going to be hard to miss. They almost become repetitive and obsessive about these things, very attached to them. I do think that they have a very hyperactive mind too, so they may have a lot of varied interests. Like once they're there, they're attached to it, and then all of a sudden they're attached to this. Very Gemini sort of energy, this sort of changeable. It's like a Sagittarius as well, I guess. And I do think that with Stay Away over here, they are very private in general. Like they don't allow a lot of people close to them. They don't allow a lot of people into their energy. So they're mostly interested in keeping like a low profile. And I feel like their hobbies reflect them just spending time with themselves, if that makes sense. Yeah. Very interesting person. What else would they be interested in, Spirit? Spirit's showing me animals. So they could have like a pet as well. And it feels weird. It feels like it's a frog or a snake or a lizard or some rare fish. And they just like sort of keeping these things around their house. They collect them. They might be a collector, but it's very strange. It's a little bit different. It's interesting, and it consumes a lot of time, which is why they do it. I feel like this person has a lot of time to themselves. So let us get some closing advice for you from their spiritual team. Spirit, may we please get some closing advice for group 4 from their spiritual team? When it comes to this connection, what advice does group 4 need to know? We have the Messenger reversed. Pay attention to the signs, Spirit saying, please listen when we write you. So your spiritual team and this person's spiritual team are always trying to guide you, trying to show you little signs, trying to remind you of like what you need to do and trying to help you do what you need to do. I really think with this key being here that there's something in front of you that you haven't seen clearly yet. They're saying pay attention, please. So this message has been coming out lately a lot. I think we need to do a reading on this, but like there's something really obvious here that they want you to see and you're not seeing. We're also being shown your dreams are closer than you think. That could be it, to be honest with you. That could be it. It's hurting my eye. Like it's actually like right there. You can't see it though. It's closer than you think. Please pay attention, they're saying. What does their future spouse's guides want them to know, Spirit? What's the advice? Someone soon. Yes, it's happening very quickly. This is showing me a feather now. There's feathers here. For me, feathers are signs that your angels are close and also signs that someone's trying to communicate with you. Because I always think of birds of like passing messages. Something is happening very soon. Please pay attention. Please listen. Please see. Don't block it. Don't ignore it. Don't block it. Don't block it. Some of you have blocked this person. Anyway, that's going to definitely throw a spanner in the works, isn't it? What else do you have? Group 4. If you've blocked them, do you want them? I'm so confused about your connection. I really need to get into the extended to clarify some things. I have so many questions. We also have the one who hides the sun, the number 8, having courage to overcome your fears in order to see the truth. Because look what's happening here. This star is being shadowed and feeling like they're in the dark and feeling very oppressed by the situation when actually there's this cheeky cat blocking the light, blocking the truth. Your fear is blocking the truth here. We also have death of the deceitful. Oh my days. Yeah, there's something very honestly true coming your way, and it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, Spirit saying. Death of the deceitful. What isn't meant for you will be taken from you, and it has been taken from you. So it's time to start taking advantage of the other things that are in front of you. Spirit, is there any other closing advice? We have body reversed. Interesting. And we also have puppet. Don't let this situation take control of you. You're the one with the power, group 4. If you know this person, please spend time reminding yourself how powerful you are. You create your reality in terms of your energy. This is a situation that is meant to do you good, but I can understand how there is so much resistance here because you've been fighting it for so long. The best thing that you can do is simply focus on liberating yourself from things that are holding you back. Don't even think about this connection when you do these things. Just say, I wish to free myself from everything standing in my way and holding me back from my happiness. And one by one, the things that aren't meant for you will fall apart. They will leave you because you're actually someone who's supposed to be a lot closer to your happiness than you currently are. You're just stubbornly refusing to see how this situation is trying to help you rather than hurt you. You're in a very protective energy and it's not helpful. It's a survival energy. You're supposed to thrive right now. In order to thrive, you have to be more open. In order to be more open, you have to see. In order to see, you have to start facing the truth. That's what I'm seeing for you, group 4. I've got to cut it there, otherwise I'm going to run out of time. But I am going to jump into the extended now, and trust me when I say I have a lot of questions. I'm just going to bring my journal right here and write them down with you. Group 4, first of all, I want to know, like, how do we go from this mess into actual union? So we're going to be big question mark around union, and don't worry, you're not the only group that had that massive question mark. Like, how do you go from this, from denial into union? That's just really confusing me. Obviously there's feelings here, obviously there's attraction, but like, what happens? I also want to know mostly like why it had to happen this way. Why couldn't you just come together? Why did there have to be this awkward separation? It's very confusing, and I think that that could offer you a lot of closure. I also want to know like what your relationship will be like, because I think that you need to know that you're going to be safe with this person. I think that for many of you, you're so afraid of putting energy into it only for it to be pulled apart. And lastly, we're going to get channeled messages from them and their higher self, okay? So those are the 4 things that we're covering. Union, when, how do we go from this to union? Why did it have to happen this way in the first place? Because they're your future spouse, so like, why is it so difficult? What will your actual relationship with them be like? And we're also going to get channeled messages from them. So the extended will be down below. At the time that you're seeing this, it will completely be ready for you to watch, sweets. You can join me there right now. Links are down below in the description box. Thank you so much for joining me over here on YouTube. I'm going to take a quick second to thank your guides, my guides, and our spiritual teams for helping me channel today's messages, and more importantly, for keeping me safe while doing so. Thank you for all of your support, group 4, sending so much love and light your way. Please look after your beautiful self, and I shall see you in another video. Bye.